Fight! Come! Hey! Right goddamn national anthem this time. It's God Save the King now. No, let's let him sing. I love him singing it so much. Huh? Must have been the highlight of the day. Right. Before we start, when they do next time. Not to my knowledge, but I'm not the one talking to them. I don't generally in the past of the Canadian games we were quite friendly to each other, I don't know.
I think because this is more of a like, if it is what it's going to be, there might be more.
But I mean, they're not, they seem to know each other, but people even be somewhat friendly. But yeah, I wouldn't expect them, but they might happen, yeah. I don't know what the agreement is though with the company. Anyway. Whatever they call it. They also have Bro, why are you having small? Sorry? What are you eating small before the game? Probably with my parents. No, but what? Carbs or are you thinking of... I'm going down a full English. I'm gonna have a full English. Yeah, I had a full English last year before Varsity. And you won? Yeah. You were good then? Oh no, it's fine, it's fine. No, it's alright, don't worry.
Begin all picks to the middle and players on the goal lines, please. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 105th varsity match between Oxford and Cambridge. Playing today for your Cambridge Blues, number 3, Jonathan Parker. Number 4, Jerome Corbière. Number 6, Jonathan Koenig. Number 8, Thomas Griffiths. Number 9, Thomas Morgan. Number 24, Jack Murphy. Number 27, Jonathan Rummich. Number 28, Samu Rossi. Number 31, Matthew Neville. Number 40, Oskari Pontonen. Number 57, Evgeny Gontrov. Number 85, Tiago Richardson. Number 91, Aidan Crawford Tomaskas. Number 94, Charles Barr. And an assistant for tonight, number 10, Scott Partington.
Are you running my box
The
tonight?
other alternate captain.
You're running my box tonight.
Number 88, Martin
Who's running the box? If you're standing here, you're
And
working.
welcome your captain for tonight,
You're doing the box.
Ivan
Right.
Greger.
You're dropping the puck. Right. Here's the puck. Okay. Can you come out? You hold on to my hand.
And for your home
Right.
team,
All right. And
the
I'll
Oxford
steady you up
Dark
there.
Blues.
Okay.
Number 9, Craig Conway.
All right.
Number
Feel like
14,
you're going.
Yuri Tagavato. Number 16, Michael Fallon. Number 21, Sebastian Hay. Number 26, Joseph Dolan. Number 29, Connor Daly. Number 41, William Payne. Number 44, Matthew Burns. Number 88, Sean Bay. Number 90, Michael Lagree. Number 91, Jacob Koenig Rosario.
I can collect them when I pay you.
Number 97, Wade Campus.
I already have the cash.
And your alternates for tonight, number 53, Niels Lager. And number 22, Matthew
When we go to Whitley
Tanner.
Bay and leave.
And last but by no
Eventually, you
means
get like 11
least, your
o'clock, and I know
captain
the
for
guys who
tonight,
fucking
number 77, Tim Pacheco.
Now, the last game they played God Save the Queen. Let's simply get it right this time.
All right, next, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you the ceremonial pit dropper, Lord Willoughby de Brick. The ceremonial pit dropper for the 105th Varsity match is Lord Willoughby de Brick, educated at the teams to the middle for the ceremonial pit dropper. All right, if we can have everybody stand for the national anthem.
Very good, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is our absolute pleasure to welcome you back to the 105th Varsity Weekend. My name is Alex Carmichael, current OUH Club President, here with Dr. Tim Donison in the commentary booth. Tim, for those who have just been watching, take us through what we've just seen in the women's game.
Well, that was a heck of a game. It went to a shootout in the end. Both goalies, played unbelievable games, and Hillary Scanlon with the winner in the shootout, sudden death shootout winner. It was magical. You couldn't draw it up any better.
You couldn't script it. You really could not. 0-0 all the way to the end, through the overtime, into the shootout. Truly phenomenal. Oxford now 1 out of 4 varsity wins currently in the bag. The men's Blues are going to be looking for a double on the day. We've just heard the roster call-outs and obviously the ceremonial puck drop. Lord Willoughby de Brook, old Oxford alum.
That's right.
Great friend of the game.
Played in the 1959 varsity match.
Well before my vintage, I have to say. But here we have the Dark Blues versus the Light Blues men's edition for the 105th version of this contest.
And of course, last year's match ended up with a 4-2 victory for Cambridge, with that final goal from Lindback Stoken just sealing the deal in the 5 minutes. Oxford here to get some revenge from previous varsity years, having not won since 2018.
Since that all-important 2018. Here we are. Can Oxford break the streak for the first time in 5 years? And we are underway. Jeff Versager and Martin Lindback-Stoken going to be some of the ones to watch there. Both of them incredibly physical players, as we've seen over the course of the season. And we're already seeing Jeff Versager on the breakout. He's just too clean. He's looking to sweep. Caught up in the net, Matthew Neville, the Cambridge goaltender there. Bit of a story behind that, which we'll get to when we have some downtime. Standing strong during his first test of the game. Jeff Fasaga working down behind, but not going to be able to come up with anything on that first offense. Dump and chase in. Cambridge going to do a full line change, plenty of time. Oxford now looking to rip the breakout, and on they go. Jeff not quite able to take that pass there from Jacob Honig-Rosario. Wade Campos not collecting. And now we're starting to see the switcher for the second lines coming through. Seb Halley on to replace, and it looks like the full line 2 zoo, as they affectionately refer to themselves, of Seb Halley, Sean Baig and Connor Daly are out and in force. Evgeny Goncharov, no stranger to this game, number 57. Excellent hand-eye from Connor Daly, puts that one back to bed. Going to chip it down low for Sean Baig, working the office. No, he's going to get turned away. As Matt Down, a long-time veteran of the Varsity game, just throws that one back in here. Tim, we've got so many names here that are just such a trip down memory lane. From before I arrived, while I arrived, and you know, some new entries as well. Oh, there we go. The first hits are thrown.
Yeah, a big hit there by Romich.
I think it was Charles Barr actually threw Sean into Romich. Jonathan J.R. Romich, Cambridge's MVP of the season, clearly. He's by far their leading goal scorer.
And another big hit there on the Oxford player.
Big crushing hit, Charles Barr. Seb Halley goes down, and goes down fairly hard, holding his side. Not going to be happy about that one. Mike Aggery flips one towards the net back in the O-zone, but nothing doing. Is palmed off by Jack Murphy. As now Cambridge just regrouping in their own zone. We're going to be looking to see if they're playing that high guy hockey or looking for something slightly more dynamic. Jack Murphy just dumping and getting someone else to do the chasing. As that looks like Tiago Richardson working behind the net, number 85. And Cambridge take first blood. A tricky move behind the net. And Cambridge strike first.
Yeah, that was a great play by Cambridge. Work the puck down low, get the goalie moving side to side. You know, looking for that gap.
I believe that was 28, they said. 28, Samu Moroshi with the finisher on the goal. And they've somehow just got 2. Didn't want to do that. Where's the hide? Where's the hide?
First goal for Cambridge, scored
Samu Moroshi getting the first goal there.
Returning for the Varsity match for the Light Blues there. Moroshi not a stranger to this kind of game.
No, exactly. I expect this. There's Jeff putting the body in early. Captain Fasaga giving a couple of shots to the back of what looks to be
Goncharov.
Is that Evgeny Goncharov? Well,
yeah, and he's not afraid of the physical play.
Absolutely not. I think we're going to see this. I mean, we're only 3 minutes in here. I would not be surprised to see some much bigger hits being laid as we progress in. Lindback Stoken going head hunting on assistant captain Niels Lager there in the corner. And Lindback Stoken with the edge work. Jeff putting him into the boards. Captain Fasaga.
And speaking of physical play, Lindback Stoken not afraid to, you know, throw it in there. Like
absolutely not. We have Lindback Stoken and Ivan Gregor, Cambridge Light Blues captain, muscling 2-on-2 versus Wade Campos and Jeff Fasaga, finally broken up.
And there's Matthew Burns,
late stage call up from the Vikings A.
And certainly not looking out of place here.
Absolutely not. That is a quick rip by Jack Murphy. Dispossession. Niels Lager squaring up into the waiting pads of Joe Dolan. Big save from the Oxford netminder.
And that's a trip down.
Trip down. And that is going to be...
That's a Cambridge tripping penalty.
Not only is it a Cambridge tripping penalty, Aiden Crawford, Tamashauskas just trying to get the touch on it to make sure there's no funny business with a delayed penalty there. We're just waiting to see who it is. I believe...
It's Lindback Stoken.
That is...
And
Stoken.
He's having words with the ref.
Starting early today.
Well, carrying on where the women's Light Blues left off, really.
Pretty much.
So on the power play for Oxford, we've got Halley centering Baig, Daly, and on the point Lager and Fasaga. Of course, Jeff normally a forward. However, he will be quarterbacking this power play.
Jonathan Romich with a lovely backhanded chip to clear the zone fully. Obviously no ice on the counter play. Connor Daly steps inside of that check, not going to be caught slipping. Scott Partington, the Red Baron, back in his particularly garish attire.
So the Oxford power play season has fared pretty well. They're about 35% on the season. Of course, they're missing some key players, Johan Anderson and Daler, obviously, who are playing tomorrow as they're ineligible for this match. So Oxford really looking to make the most of this power play here.
Absolutely. They have the man advantage, they have the space, and more importantly, they're a squad that knows how to work with it. Drop stick there from Jack Murphy. Jeff will say you're going to work in low. Seb Halley rotating up to the top on that point. Is he going to look to take the shot? He is. Slides it into the awaiting shins of Charles Barr. Now Seb looking to make the move across. Jeff in the slot for the one-timer.
Blocked again.
Didn't quite find the mark, but muscling hard, muscling, working, looking to elevate. Matt Neville,
strong on the post
RVH, is getting pushed about a fair bit. The net has come off, but no afters. There's nothing too drastic after the whistle.
But that really isn't the Oxford game. The Oxford power play is to move it around the periphery, look for that cross-seam pass with the 1-3-1 setup. They've got some key shooters on their off wings that really can rip it, so they just need to keep Cambridge moving and look for those gaps.
Yeah, I will say, having gone up against some of these guys in training, there's no doubt that they can easily put pucks on net and put pucks in the net. So it's going to be utilising the most of that space, like you said, playing around the periphery, finding those spots, and just giving them hell from there. But Cambridge so far weathering the storm on this PK, well in there from Jonathan Romich as a big clear goes in. Scott Partington loves to hunt this forecheck. He really, really loves to get in and just cause a bit of chaos. And you can see, look, very opportunistic play, trying to pick up on something as Yuri Tamatagama, shot ripped from big Mikey Farland, but nothing doing so far for Oxford. A couple of boys already with some snow on the shells. You can tell that people are going to be going up and down, hitting the deck fairly frequently in this game. And Yuri giving captain Ivan Gray, Evgeny Goncharov some business in front of the net. Oxford now 3 seconds to go on the power play, but they are back to even strength. Limbach Stokin unleashed from the penalty box. Downer looking low. I think this is a chance for Cambridge to get slightly more aggressive now that they have the man back in contention. Wade from the high. Pushed down. Yuri Tamatagama pushed down onto his own goaltender by captain Ivan Gregor. Not perhaps the most savvy play to make as a defender by potentially injuring your goaltender by pushing the other team onto him.
And Limbach Stoken there with a big forecheck on campus.
That's a very late offside. They haven't quite realised it. I think that was Tiago Richardson. Hadn't quite clocked that someone was stuck in the far corner. Oxford has a bit of a chance to regroup now. Working up Connor Daly. Bit of an along the board specialist, going to dump and chase. Neville not going to pop out of the crease. He knows better than that. I think.
Big hit by Daly
double hit
and by Halley.
Oh, that is a combination.
And number 6 is down behind the Oxford goal and Cambridge goal.
That is potentially quite a rough hit there. I mean, that was double helpings. They had him once, they had him twice.
If you didn't catch that on the stream there, that was a hit from a strong forecheck from Daly and equally from the other side of the net, a massive hit from Halley.
Yeah, I think there was
the zoo line coming up with the physical play there.
Yeah,
and we just hope he's okay. He's on the ice.
Yeah, captains have just gone over to chat with the refs, making sure there's.
And of course, the cameras are away from the injured player.
Yeah.
But that was a crushing hit.
That, I mean, not only was the first one crushing, the follow-up was crushing. I think that is a rock and a hard place, and you've got stuck between the worst of both.
I think the hit itself was clean. However,
it's possible to make contact with the boards after the fact.
Yeah, well, the second hit may have been slightly late, so they may call that.
I could understand that call. I think that's not entirely unreasonable.
I mean,
he's been down for a long time, has number 6. Just getting a quick check. I believe that is Jonathan Koenig. I suspect his grandparents are in attendance, having worked tirelessly to get the pattern cut back from the Hockey Hall of Fame, which we will come on to addressing later on. I'm not sure if we need a member of rink staff. Can we get a member of rink staff? I think we're just going to get a member of rink staff, make sure that
there's no serious issue here. However, we do
much better to take care of the injury appropriately than
absolutely
rush anything. So we are just waiting for a member of rink staff to go.
But overall, a fantastic, fast-paced start to the game here.
Breaks for a gator, you're supposed to have one. They say someone else. They need to be closer than this.
Refs just come over to double check with the bench. We have got a rink first aider to the scene.
And
We'll
actually,
keep you posted.
a number of doctors on either team.
Quite right. Of medical varieties and other, I don't doubt. So we have got
But this is not
not what you really want to see.
not what we want to see at the start of a varsity match.
No. I mean, I think we knew coming in this was going to be a physical game.
Yeah.
It could have been that second hit came in a bit late. It could have been that it was just a hit.
Two strong forecheckers.
Two strong forecheckers. Difficult to say.
Yeah. But you know, he kind of made the play, took the hit, and
He did.
You know, Cambridge
Took the
broke
body.
it out. We just hope he gets up shortly and can skate on his own volition.
Yeah, under his own steam. So we'll
But
wait
now,
and see.
now might be a moment to talk about the Cambridge goaltender.
Yes. So for those of you following along at home throughout the BYHA season, so we are just getting some medical professionals to the scene.
The first aider on their way down.
First aider there, Matthew MD Downer for the men's blues. Particularly adept when it comes to handling.
Just off a fresh shift from the JR, straight to the rink.
Yeah.
We don't know if
No one grinds like him.
on standby.
You know, he has been instrumental in keeping some of our guys fit and healthy on and off the ice with some of their game injuries during the season. Just a small conference. I think Matt Burns as well, also in the medical field.
But this is certainly not what we want to see, and
No.
we do hope he's okay.
But to deviate briefly to chat about the Cambridge goaltending situation, as we were, Tim, for those of you following along in the regular BYHA season, you will notice that Jared Brunner, who is dressed and currently sat on the bench wearing number 39, alongside Oskari Peltonen wearing number 40, is the third goalie on the Cambridge side, with Matt Neville between the pipes at the minute. Jared Brunner has been the primary goalie for Cambridge throughout the season, to the best of our understanding. But following a kicking incident in a league, in a cup competition match versus London Dragons, as we'll get right back to that, as it looks like Koenig is just very gently getting to his feet. So the crowd showing that respect. Just gently waiting, no rush. And it looks like he is being helped gently to his feet by teammates. I think he will probably be out for the rest of the game.
Yeah, he'll certainly get assessed off the ice for concussion.
Yeah, I think that's more than prudent. Matt Neville just making his return to the net. I think a couple more helpers to the scene are coming out. That's possibly some family members. Just making their way, being escorted by some members of the Oxford Men's Blues. Current score, for those wondering, currently 1-0 to Cambridge after 7.5 minutes of play. But we are just waiting for an injury clearance here from Cambridge. Just a quick recap. Jonathan Koenig making his way now, assisted by teammates and family members off the ice.
That's right, number 6 from Christ College, Cambridge.
Yeah. Is making his way off.
And respect shown from
both sides. So he will now be assessed, I suspect, both by the medical professionals and the rink first aid team, as the rest of the players will take back to the ice. But it would not surprise me if we see either a similar level of intensity or in fact an elevated one here, Tim.
Absolutely, and as we were saying, Matt Neville is between the pipes for Cambridge.
He's no stranger to this game either. He's been around a fair old while.
Taking potentially Brunner's starting position.
I think so. So to clarify on the Brunner situation, was assessed a kicking major in a game against London Dragons not too long ago, which in BUIHA rules, as a shot is fired wide by Charles Bart. Mike Furlan springing the breakaway, but is slowed up in the neutral zone. Charles Bart again doing a lot. Jeff there, 1. Jeff Fasega, 77, in on the net, runs the goalie. I think that might have been kind of incidental after the fact contact, but that would really not be good to have 2 injuries in such quick succession. I think Matt Neville was getting to his feet fine, probably feeling a little bit indignant about that contact. Not entirely unreasonably, I wouldn't suspect. But all fine so far. Seems to be okay. Just sorting out a jersey. Jared Brunner, so currently serving a 1-game suspension for a kicking major penalty that was incorrectly assessed during a game. This is why. That's the reason why Cambridge have not been able to put him on the ice. So he has travelled with the team, he is on the bench with the team, but will not be eligible to ice in this game. Is the quick recap.
But yeah, Matt Neville is he's no stranger to winning Varsity. He's won the past several seasons.
I was going to say
2-3, I think. So he knows what it's all about.
A fair handful.
Absolutely, and you know, Cambridge will still feel very confident with him back in the net.
Yeah. Who was the squad? Sam Morosi, right. Number 28. Am I? Oh no, there's a Cambridge player hiding in the far corner. For a moment I thought they were playing 5-on-4 voluntarily. And now line 2 putting the pressure on. Sean Baig and Seb Halley trying to cause some chaos in the corners.
The 2 Quebecers on the team.
Yeah. The French connection. Mike Agariv though putting in the work. Fans on the pass. Is getting bumpy with Martin Limbach-Stoke and Ivan Gregor now coming in as the captain.
Agariv, Moscow Mule on the Oxford
The
Blues
Moscow
team.
Mule of the Oxford Blues. Joe Dolan making the diving save. Not super necessary, but stops the play from going any further.
And Joe Dolan, one of the few Brits on the team this year.
One of the very few. I was coincidentally asked by a North American fan, how many of your team are homegrown? And it was rather startling when I realised not many of them at all. I think possibly a grand total of 2 or 3. But that's all thanks to a strong series of. Sorry, that was a hit and a half. Burnsy's sat down in the corner with his helmet off.
That's right.
He looks okay. He doesn't look too shaken up on the play, but
maybe a little bit of revenge from the Cambridge side.
Yeah, I think this would not be. I would not be surprised if we see some pretty heavy hits upcoming. If you've just been shaken up on the play.
So we've got Griffiths and Convey on the face-off dot. That's Oxford's 3rd line.
And Griffiths with a fairly convincing win, but so convincing he's had to run his team all the way back to their own zone. It's cleared nicely there by number 9, Tom Morgan. Will Payne just leaving a little tip into the far corner, and Craig Convey lining up for the hit, does pull out of it a little bit. And Yuri Tamatagama now stepping up the intensity. Niels Lager with the dump in, and Chase is going to get picked up by Tom Morgan. Looking to spring the breakout as Charles Barr moves in. Is a dump on the net. Goalie turns that wide. Easy save for Joe Dolan, nothing too out of the ordinary. Jeff Fasega putting on the brakes, putting on a clinic on the edge work as he escapes the forecheck of Jonathan J.R. Ronich.
Signature move from Jeff Fasega there.
Absolutely.
Spinning out of the checks.
Mike Furlan going in deep, little bit of interference with the stick there from Samu Moroshi.
Lots of stick work there from Furlan.
Furlan is doing an excellent job of keeping that going. Jeff now going to be able to recoup some time. Neil's looking up the line to find Jacob Honig-Rosario. Scott Partington thought about the hit, but wanted the puck instead.
Probably smart play there.
I think so. Honig got lucky on that one. I think if that hit came through, that could have ended up very differently. Niels steps the hit from Scott Partington. And I believe that's Jonathan Parker there just making the play out. Seb Halley with the hands. Keeps it low. And I think that the puck has exited the playing surface. So far, Cambridge with first blood.
It's a Canadian celebrity in the house, Shania Twain.
I mean, I think most of our team are Canadian celebrities at this point.
Yeah, different calibers there.
Well, yeah. Ours are obviously the A-listers. That's Halley and Lindback Stoken, and it looks like Halley may have just got a loose puck there. Neville. Oh, Neville!
Great save by Neville there.
Matt Neville with a daylight robbery.
Flashed the leather to Rob Connor Daly there on the rebound.
That was incredible. We had the initial shot from Halley. Daly came swinging across through the slot. And Matt Neville with quite possibly the save of the game already.
But you know, Cambridge, he should not be in a position to make that save. That was a turnover for Cambridge in their defensive zone, allowing two good scoring opportunities for Oxford.
Exactly. I mean, incredible as that save was, perhaps not the position you want to be putting yourself in where your goaltender has to make the superstar play to stay in.
That's right.
Obviously, Cambridge do have a little bit of breathing room with that first goal. Lindback Stoken in hard on the forecheck, but they're not going to be willing to give up that advantage anytime soon. Sean Babe now in on the forecheck. Great pressure from line 2. There's Craig now moving in. Shakes off the hit from Aiden Crawford. Tamashowskis, sorry.
And apologies to any of the families listening who take offense to our mispronunciation of these names.
We are trying our best. We do apologize. Here we go. Martin Lindback Stoken shoots from the high hash.
Blocked by Burns.
Nice job from Burnsy, and he's managed to shake off the hit as well. That is a quick rip, and Joe Dolan with an even quicker glove.
Quick stick, quick glove, juggling pucks.
That was very nice. Had the tip up, I think, off the stick, flashed it mid-air. No issue there.
Shown to Neville, anything you can do, I can do better.
I think so. I think this is now going to be a battle of goaltender egos. We've seen 1 or 2 star saves. I'd be interested to see how we see more of them.
And a little bit of afters there as well.
I think Oxford have done well so far to keep their heads in it. I mean, both teams no one's going overboard yet.
No.
This is very much a match that is prone to that kind of escalation.
Absolutely.
And I think both teams so far are doing a good job of keeping a lid on it, which is going to be pretty critical.
Yeah. Whoever stays at the box will win the game.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the story of the season.
Yeah. I think the fight is very much against the opposition, not the refs. That's a surefire way to get that game lost. Oh, Jeff Varsity getting held a little bit down low.
But you know what? That's what Cambridge need to do. They had 3 guys immediately on Vasega down there.
Yeah.
He's a handful.
He absolutely is. Scott Partington looking to try and knock him off the puck, but Jeff Vasega just so sturdy. Does get spun around, but Oxford still in possession. I believe that's Wade Camphus hustling down hard in the corner. And now chipped out and clear by Jack Murphy. Burnsy looking for the pass ahead, trying to spring the breakaway for Jacob Honig-Rosario.
That's Goncharov who takes the puck and clears it.
And now Tiago Richardson trying to get some leverage in the zone. Charles Barr pulls up on the hit, no follow through. Both teams actually seeming to kind of pull their hits at the moment. They're not going for anything.
Yeah, it seems like they want to play a bit of hockey now.
I think so. The initial explosion, the fireworks have settled down.
And really that is to the Cambridge advantage. They do seem to have a numbers advantage on the bench.
That was a sprawling play.
Some afterwards, some Halley there?
I think so. It's not going to be love poetry, that's for sure.
Well, he's from Quebec, it could be.
I'm not sure I trust his poetic talent. But so far so good. Line 2 looking to try and make the play in the slot.
Yeah, another good
Palace
shift from Oxford's line 2 here.
I mean, you can tell these boys have been kind of clicking since day one. They really have come on as a line. And this is kind of their final form, as you like. So we're expecting big things from them. This is, I think, basically the only line that is consistent with their regular season roster.
That's right.
So we're very much expecting these guys to do a lot of the grunt work.
And the chemistry is obvious.
Yeah.
So good work from Cambridge here to box Oxford out and win the puck.
Long pass across, stretch pass for Gregor, sends it wide of the post, not troubling the goaltender. Now Lindback Stoking grabs it along the half wall, flicks it high, no.
Elected to shoot.
Goncharov from range, going to go all the way over the top. Joe Dolan turned around. A quick pass across and
Gregor taken out from the crease there. It looks like Gregor might be taking a forward position here.
I think that is an ice.
Potentially with Koenig not...
No icing called. Will Payne in on the forecheck, looking to hustle hard.
The other resident Brit on the Blues team, the former Sheffield Bear, Will Payne.
Yeah. Puck still in. Matthew Downer holding it at the line. For Sega wrapping it around, nothing there.
And Oxford with some sustained pressure here.
Very much so. I mean, I think if we're talking zone time possession, Oxford are probably winning here. But in terms of actual dangerous chances, Cambridge have probably had the better look so far.
Yeah, agreed. And credit to Cambridge, they're countering well and they're getting some good shots on Dolan.
Still with the zone finally chipped out by Scott Partington. Burns battling along the boards with Partington there. I believe tripped up there, but off the puck. Downer able to scoop that one up. Sourcing to Fasega. Gets past Murphy, and I think they're going to look for a line change here. No,
it's an icing.
No line change. It is just an icing. Cambridge with the opportunity to shift some fresh legs on.
And Oxford line 1 stays out.
And Oxford line 1 does stay out. I think they understand kind of what's at stake, and they're thinking if we've still got a little bit of gas in the tank, you may as well run it for all you're worth. Six minutes and 36 seconds to go in the period. Oh, a slightly dangerous chance there.
Yeah, a bit of a broken play. Oh, Burns got lucky on that clearance.
He has Downer chipping the puck ahead. Not sure what he's going to go for. Matt Downer right in front. Really not quite able to see it. There's Seb Halley from the point firing in. Open net for Wade Campus, but doesn't quite find the mark. Just circling back round, Seb Halley working it down low. Matthew Downer going to have to pick that one up in the corner. And it looks like...
yeah, Matthew Downer put it in the work here on the forecheck.
Jack Murphy hustling him hard. And that is scooped up by Matt Neville. Simon, our photographer, is just loving life next to me. That's why I've got a bit of a smile in my voice.
Yeah, great little shout out there for our club photographer Simon M. Diligently coming to games year on year, really.
Yeah, a true member of the Oxbridge ice hockey family. Hugely appreciate all the work he does. That looks like it's Halley and Tiago Richardson squaring up. I don't know if they're having...
No, it's Lindback Stoken.
Is it? Oh, sorry, I didn't quite catch the other 8 there. Lindback Stoken and Halley, both
you can
of them
tell
swiping.
You can tell because there's like a 30-second convo with the ref before the puck drop.
I think both of these guys champion chatters.
He wears the A, and you get to talk to the ref, so
yeah,
that's his job.
Nicely chipped out by Michael Furlan, and Cambridge have just managed to scoop it back up again in for Charles Bois.
That's Daly. Nice little backhand chip across the ice to Baig.
Yeah. Sean Baig, it has to be mentioned, took a particularly nasty hit earlier in the season. I believe it was against Imperial. UCL, thank you. So it's perhaps maybe just going to be watching his back a little bit more to make sure he's not going to get crushed against the boards, because we've already seen, that hit with Koenig. Some hairy action, but Charles Barr has just jumped the gun.
Marginal offside there. That was close.
It's enough. If it's enough for an offside, the ref's called it. Lindback Stoken exchanging some words with Sean Baig. The 88s going at it. I think they've been practicing, I don't doubt.
No doubt the chirps are coming in.
I think so. This is as much a game of mental warfare as physical these days. Cambridge still with the lead. 5 minutes 15 left to play. Tiago Richardson just snowing the goalie a little bit. I don't think Oxford really caught it, but definitely the kind of thing that is a little tactical rub to get under the skin of the enemy team.
Absolutely.
But hey, all's fair in love and war, and this is most certainly not love. Convey and Partington now to the face-off dot.
Yeah, Partington, one of Cambridge's leading goal scorers.
Very much a speed guy. I mean, you look at this guy all year long, even in past varsity matches, he's got the hands and he's got the footwork. He loves to just run and rip.
Absolutely, and you know, Cambridge very much with that 1A, 1B lineup. You got Limbach Stoken as line 1.
Nice save from
1A, and then Partington down at 1B. Like, you can't go wrong with two strong centres.
Absolutely not. I mean, very, very dangerous opportunity for Cambridge, actually, come to think of it. I believe there's a penalty on the play.
That's
as well.
right, Convey. Does Craig Convey 2 minutes for interference?
That is not going to help the Oxford chances, unfortunately. We did say already, it is going to be a case of whoever stays out of the box is going to be favoured. Limbach, Stoken and Jeff just exchanging some words and a couple of fist bumps. Not sure if they were the friendly kind. I somewhat doubt it.
One by Cambridge.
Number 9, Craig Convey receives 2 minutes for interference. That is 2 minutes interference. Penalty, 15 minutes and 2 seconds.
Shots going, but
That's
not
right.
really. Jeff Vasega doing all the work, just going to dump it in deep. I think that's actually grounds for an icing. He wasn't quite over
It's
the
a
line.
PK, it can't be icing.
That is correct. Thank you,
We've
Tim,
all
for bringing
been
me
there.
back to reality.
We've all been there.
No, 1 minute 30 left on the PK for Oxford.
Oxford would feel a little hard done by.
I think they probably would. That is going to be sent all the way around by Ivan Gregor. Looks like Scott Partington trying to pick it up along the half wall. Niels Lager giving him something to think about. But so far, Cambridge not really making much of their space advantage. Seems to be kind of getting quite low and stuck in these 1v1, 2v2s and not really using the extra man.
A bit of an offload formation with the Cambridge guys. There's 2 guys up high and a player on the strong side. Unlike the Oxford power play, which is an umbrella.
I believe they sometimes run a 1-3-1 as well on the Oxford system. That's a shot from the high point.
Yeah, a bit of a fan
Gregor,
shot from there, Gregor.
I did think he snapped his stick for a second there. He's going to snap it in this time. Joe Dolan makes the save.
Oh, great save by Dolan.
Still loose. Connor Daly now has the chance. Winding in slowly. I think he's just going to dump the puck. Does shoot it from range, but not going to find anything.
Buys
Knows he's
time for a
shorthanded.
change.
Yeah, and now look at this. Charles Barr playing that high man hockey, looking for the cherry picking situation. Martin Limbach Stoken tries to shoot through the legs of Mike Agareve, but Mike closes that door down. That was Thomas Griffiths there.
So Holly intercepts.
With a giveaway, he's just going to dump it and chase. Knows he's probably not going to have too much. Getting a little bit...
few words from Morosi, the Cambridge goal scorer.
A little bit of... well, what can we really call that? Interaction.
Yeah, friendly interaction.
Friendly, I might leave out of it. But Joe Dolan with a great snap down is going to be sent rink wide.
And a clear by Mike Agareve.
That might actually... No icing called. I believe that might have been just before the power play ran out. Cambridge now looking to make the break, and there's the high man. It's just
Richardson.
textbook Richardson. Fans on the shot.
Yeah, Cambridge love that stretch pass.
They really do. I mean, you watch them play all season long. Great stop by Dolan off the stick. Oxford now just looking to get some clearance. A really loopy clearance from Jeff Vasega. Buys them a bit of time. But you watch Cambridge play, they love to stick a man high. We were talking about it in the women's game, Tim. We're going to be talking about it more in this game. It's just the preferred strategy. Ivan Gregor steps round Jacob Honig. The snapshot fired off. But
all day for Dolan.
Safely taken centre mass for Dolan.
And Dolan's in plenty of action early on.
He has.
He's very much into the game.
I don't think there's any question about that. Neville already seen a fair bit of action on the other side, but probably the colder of the two if we were to say anything right now. They were supposed to control that. Matthew Downer now off the clear. Connor Daly going to take it back down and low, but big forecheck in from Charles Barr. I would expect Cambridge to try and push this lead now. I don't think they're going to want to try and park the bus. It's a bit too early in the game.
Yeah, and certainly in the last 2 minutes here.
Yeah,
you
want to try and get a little bit of something going into the dressing room before that second period.
And certainly they don't want to give anything up here.
Absolutely not. Daly spins once, gets around Partington. Charles Barr
Puck
in
deep.
on the defense, but no, not going to find it. Jonathan Parker gives a big shove in the back to Sean Baig. Nothing called. Looks like it was fair game. Hit to the numbers. Or shove, rather, maybe than a hit. Scott Partington weaves, but is dispossessed by big Mike Furlan.
Yeah,
Puck now bouncing in.
Solid play for Oxford's number 16 there.
I'm not sure about you, Tim. I'm not sure if we've seen much of Jerome DeCalvier, or maybe I'm just missing him, but Matt Neville with a stop from long range, as it looks like Sean Baig battling down on the boards. Passed up to the point for Jeff. Jeff now working the defensive angle. 3 Cambridge players in the middle.
Yeah, Cambridge not afraid to come out and try and block these shots.
Tumble there from Wade Campus on the line change may have slightly slowed down that incurred. See the front of the net as far as I can tell.
Yeah, that looked deflected just wide.
Gregor and Max Stoken kind of tripping over each other. And Joe Dolan showing us some simply lovely behaviour.
With a pitcher's mitt there.
Huh?
With the pitcher's mitt.
Quite right. I mean, that was nice. As a goaltender, that's just such a satisfying save to make. You see it coming all the way in, track it straight into the pocket. Crowd loved that. A bit of a fire up. And that is time on the first period. So, going into the first intermission, Cambridge lead 1-0. We'll join you back for the action after the ice cuts for the second period. Hello and welcome back to the second period of the 105th Men's Blues Ice Hockey Varsity match. I am your host, Alex Carmichael. With me again, Dr. Tim Donaldson in the booth. Tim, Cambridge have struck first. They have definitely come out swinging. Oxford are kind of on the back foot here. What are we expecting to see from the boys?
Yeah, more of the same, I think. You know, a lot of that zone, a lot of the play was kind of through the middle of the ice. Not that much end-to-end. I think as the games goes on, as the guys get a bit more tired, we're going to see a lot more end-to-end action. The goalies have been tested to a fair degree.
Yeah.
But, you know, we are going to see some sequences, I think, in the second that, you know, are going to put folks on the edge of their seats, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we also have the long change now in effect.
That's right.
So this is going to be a real test of not only kind of, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Conditioning and endurance, but you know, there's going to be some IQ checks here as well. Can you make the right call? Are you jumping on the bench, offside, onside?
Yeah, that's 100% right. I think this second period will be a real test of discipline for both teams.
Yeah.
You know, not just taking penalties, and you know, both teams in that period took a few penalties they probably would want to get back.
Yeah.
But with this long change, you're going to have to be super disciplined not to have those odd man rushes.
Yeah.
Because they'll burn you.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
both teams have the quality and the pedigree of their forwards to be able to capitalize on that.
I think so. I mean, you know, there's no shortage of guys who can wheel, snipe, and sally in either of these squads, right? If you give them an inch, they will take a mile.
And certainly from that first period, you know, Oxford had quite a bit of zone time, had some sustained pressure, but Cambridge on the counter looked threatening.
Yeah, I think that's the conclusion to draw, is that Cambridge didn't really generate a lot of their own zone time. They mainly, as you say, were playing on the counter, playing on the rush back.
With the
stretch
pass.
With the stretch pass, with the high guy. And that's where they caught Oxford sleeping. So if Oxford can iron out that kind of that issue with their gameplay style, then I think they're in a much stronger position. But obviously Cambridge are going to be looking to hammer home an extra goal or several and assert that lead. We do have a brief update on the injured player, Jonathan Honig, who is with ambulance paramedics now, is being looked after, but will not be returning to the ice. So he is stable and being taken care of by professionals.
So yeah, all the best to Koenig
very much
there.
so. Wishing him a speedy recovery and hope that there's no...
and Cambridge just
long
returning
impact
to the ice to boos from the home crowd.
I mean, I can't say it comes as a surprise. I think a little bit of partisan spectatorship is not entirely out of the ordinary for these kinds of games.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, really surprising it's only a 1-0 game. Some real good opportunities in the first. You know, Joe Darling for the Oxford goalie, he had a couple of key glove saves, and you know, Matt Neville absolutely robbing Connor Daly on that rebound.
I mean, yeah, let's talk about that save. That was just phenomenal. Like, you've never, in kind of ways, essentially for a lot of these guys, the biggest match of their uni careers. It is the most important game of the season for these teams. Oh, we've had a whistle.
Full stop.
Infraction. You know, this is the most important game for them. Coming up like that in such a major way is a huge testament to not only the quality of like the skill level, but also like the personal kind of ability to play up to the occasion. Yeah,
absolutely. And you know, the Varsity match year on year always improves the quality of the game.
I think we've got some vuvuzelas or air horns in the crowd. The rowdy fans have arrived. Wades nicely sidesteps there the attempt from Parker. Jeff Fasega crushed into the boards, but gets back up strong. Evgeny Goncharov laying down the law. Wade Campos, though, going to battle hard.
And we talked about this in the first period. You know, Oxford's forward, especially Fasega, the captain, do a great job of riding the check, sustaining that forecheck, not giving up possession, and really getting some good zone time for Oxford.
I mean, again, we're talking about zone time. We're literally, you know, kind of just sitting in Cambridge's zone for the first minute odd, 45 seconds of this period. Even now in the neutral zone, Michael Furlan gets spun off his feet by Charles Barr.
But he's a big boy, he can take it.
He's a big boy, he can take the contact. Here comes Wade Campos. Wade, Thursday Campos, gets sent sliding, is getting up. Yeah. No call on the play though, so.
Yeah, Campos, one of the few undergraduates on the team. Both teams predominantly a postgraduate heavy roster.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, it does kind of make sense given that you have very talented postgrad academic or graduate academics coming in for some of the research programs at Oxford and Cambridge, especially on things like Rhodes scholarships or
Fulbrights, Clarendon.
Fulbrights, exactly, that kind of thing. So the talent pool does end up American heavy, North American heavy at the very least.
Yeah, and a lot of these players coming into, their respective Oxford or Cambridge programs with, north of 10, 15 years experience.
Quite right.
Starting from an early age.
Yeah.
Very much in the twilight of their careers, maybe playing college hockey and,
Calling them washed up already.
That's right, but that's the beauty of Oxbridge hockey. It's the oldest rivalry, but it still means something.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd call them twilight players maybe just yet, but I understand what you mean.
Well, the NHL scouts aren't here, let's put it that way.
Well, maybe they should be. Oh, Scott Parkinson rips the puck off a bad turnover there. That's a particularly dangerous one to give up in the high hash marks. And now walking in is Jack Murphy, but the stick of Joseph Dolan puts that one to bed. The ref's looking for a spare puck. Have been given one. But no, you're absolutely right. Lots of guys coming into these programs with years, decades even of junior experience, let them play at kind of junior level. Some of them historically at kind of minor pro level as well, both sides I think. As Parker rips that one off a skate, not quite making it through the traffic there. Now here comes Yuri Tamazagama, making the move, is poke checked away by Evgeny Goncharov. But taking 3-on-1, and he's almost come out on top there. Burnsy just going to circle back round. Matthew Burns.
Yeah, the 14 dark blue for Oxford there. One of the fastest players on the ice.
I mean, but very much in a quiet sense. He's not going to be the flashiest guy ever, but when he gets going, he just comes alive. And Yuri has brought no goal. Cambridge crowd getting a little bit excited.
Side netting there. To be fair, that from this angle,
it could have been, but.
Nah.
I think Joe
had it covered there.
He had the post sufficiently sealed.
And Cambridge with some pressure here. Oxford looking to get back in the offensive zone, get some pressure going, and generate some chances.
Potentially later hit laid on by Lindback Stoking, but nothing doing. Niels Lager is a big boy, able to take the contact. But this is kind of the most concerted Cambridge forecheck. Lindback Stoking goes not quite bar down.
That was a heck of a move.
But pops the bottle of Joseph Dolan. Martin Lindback Stokin, the assistant captain, the ultimate captain, goes to take the second goal for Cambridge.
Yeah, nice little steal off Niels Lager there. Cut to the middle, just chip it high over the blocker of Dolan.
I mean, I think that was what we were just about to get started talking about. This was the first kind of concerted forecheck effort from Cambridge, and it's clearly paid off.
Yeah, well, that's what they need to do. They need to make the most of their bigger bench, get the pucks in deep, get the forecheck going, and generate chances. And, the goals will come from that.
As we've just seen, very much the case. Mike Furlan trying to find up the middle, but skill guy Scott Partington racing in. I mean, just look at him go. He's very quick. Tries to throw the hit in. Mike Agariv is a tough customer, though. Not going to be knocked off the puck lightly.
And Cambridge with a bit of a renewed sense of purpose here, a bit of confidence.
Isn't able to get going as Scott Partington flicks it ahead.
And Oxford really need to start getting some shots here.
I think so.
It feels like a long time since they've had some decent opportunities.
Yeah, good stick tie up there, but it's not good enough.
And that's another goal from Cambridge.
They've found the back of the net.
Oxford potentially going to call a timeout here, I feel.
I think that might be a solid option in terms of getting the momentum reset. They've gone 2 goals down in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's it. Matthew Downer calling the timeout.
I think that's a wise decision there, coaching perspective.
Yeah.
Get the mental reset in. The
exactly.
Boys are, if you start to drop your heads after that, it's game over.
You don't want to give up a fourth here.
No, exactly.
Just regroup.
Pretty terminal.
Just get the next game, get the next goal, and it's a 2-goal game.
Yeah.
There's still shifts to be built on here, and the game is far from over.
Quite right. 3-0 in a hockey game, maybe in something else like football, you think maybe you're not coming back from that, but 3 goals in as many minutes is not uncommon nor unheard of.
It's almost as we prophesized there. Cambridge with their forecheck. We talked about how they need to get in deep, get the puck back, get the shots off, and with that renewed sense of energy, they bagged 2 quick goals.
They did. That fire, I think, that's what Oxford need to rekindle right now and just make sure it's directed at the right thing.
Yeah.
There's no point getting frustrated with the refs, getting frustrated with the other team.
Exactly.
That's not going to win you anything. You need to keep it clean, keep it calm.
And so I know some might say surprising 3-0 lead at this point in the game.
I think given the relative strength of the teams this year, it is surprising. And if you remember in the regular season contest, I'm not quite sure, someone's chatting with the ref pretty freely.
Yeah, so Oxford went to Cambridge for the season opener, drew 3-3.
They did. I was there at that game. I mean, Oxford did look like the stronger team, but Cambridge did manage to pull it off and hold strong on the draw.
And then the return leg in Oxford, just 2 or 3 weeks ago, was a 7-5 victory for Oxford. Again, a tough game.
Yeah, absolutely. Like these games aren't going for free, and you have to consider as well that Oxford have.
Yeah, they're missing some key pieces for sure.
They're kind of affiliate players, if you like. But even still, both sides are very strong teams. Cambridge perhaps haven't got the better of them in the season.
That's an interference call.
That is
potentially on Harley, but they take both of them.
That might be doubles. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Neville's skating to the bench, but it looks like we're going to have coincidental minors.
That's number 21, Sebastian Ali.
Yeah. I'm not sure that that's a major surprise to anyone who's been following the team this year.
No, he's a wear your heart on the sleeve kind of guy.
Very much so. I think
certainly plays that way.
Has a fire to him, but sometimes does get the wrong side of the refs there. I suspect that's also Tiago. No, not Tiago Richardson. My apologies. That's Samuel Morosi.
Yeah, the scorer of the first Cambridge goal. He's going to sit for 2.
Showing the crowd a little bit of love there. So coincidental minors dropping down to 4-on-4 hockey. The refs just having a little bit of a debate as to what the protocol is. Both captains skating over to check on what's going on.
So this is our first 4-on-4 action of the weekend so far.
Yep.
So who do you think this favours out there? I mean, both teams are obviously fast, have some fast players, but...
I mean, I honestly say it probably goes to Cambridge, given the fact that this is essentially their core roster that doesn't change throughout the season. You have speed guys who have now even more space, and they know where each other are going to be. And
they've just got the confidence from that 3-0 lead.
I think so. I think this is going to slightly swing in Cambridge's favour. Oxford are going to be paying...
Oh, I think Cambridge are getting an extra.
I'm not quite sure. Jonathan Romich posted up in front of the box here, chatting to the ref.
Incensed with the referee here.
With Captain Ivan Gregor just watching on. Both captains now talking to the other referee, just to try and figure out what is going on.
So our referee this year, native Calgary, got his Canadian flag on the back of his helmet. It's called a good game so far, despite what the Cambridge player in the box thinks.
Do you know what was it for?
I have no idea. I was on the bench. It was at 21. You don't have a 21. Okay, 27.
Okay, so just chatting to some of the players in the box here. We're not quite sure what that last call was. Refs called a 21. Cambridge doesn't actually have a 21 rostered. So we have Jonathan J.R. Romich, 27, has been pulled to the bench. Captains both getting his turn talking to. Cambridge alternates just hovering behind their
Still
primaries.
unsure if, well, it appears Oxford might have a power play here.
Oh, a 4-on-3 power play.
You don't see that every day.
No, not even slightly.
And this will be huge for the Dark Blues, to get back into this game.
I think if they can grab a quick goal off this, that will really swing the momentum.
Yeah, so let's just see how this shakes out. And
right now, Cambridge very much are in the driver's seats. We're just getting some clarification from the refs here. So at the moment we have coincidental minors, both Oxford and Cambridge, and then an additional 2-minute minor for Cambridge.
Still unsure on what that calls for. So some Cambridge fans advising the ref to put on his glasses.
Yes, I remember the last time we had Varsity here, it was very much the same section of the rink that the Cambridge fans were posted up in.
But these Cambridge fans should be careful, because this season the refs in particular have not...
They've not taken any stick, quite frankly.
And they've given bench minors two teams for their rowdy friends, yeah.
Which, honestly, I think is the right move. It's not the kind of thing we want to see in the game, and it's not the kind of environment we want to foster. It is obviously a very intense rivalry, the oldest rivalry in hockey, but that doesn't require it to get nasty. That doesn't require it to get abusive in the stands.
So just let the refs sort it out, let them do their job, and then, you know, just play your game. You can't control what the refs decide.
No.
Just got to go out there and play your hockey.
Looks like alternate captain Niels Lager just giving some words of advice to Yuri Tamatagama. Try and give him some ideas on a set play, perhaps, in the O-zone.
That's right, and of course this is Neil's second varsity, having played his first varsity last year in Cambridge.
Yeah.
And Yuri's first varsity.
Yeah, I believe so. Jeff Fasega, returner to the team. All of line 2, new additions this year.
That's right.
Most of the defensive core, actually, as well. Michael Furlan new this year. Matt Downer, obviously an old hand, but Matt Burns, he's new this year. Who else am I missing? Mikey Agariv has been around for a fair while. So call that what? 60% returners, 40% new.
Yeah.
Only icing a 5-man decor.
So we have a 5-on-4, it seems.
5-on-4. I'm not quite sure how this shakes out when the gates come open, but...
So the penalised player will jump on, whereas the incidental minors will come on once the whistle goes.
Receives a 2-minute penalty for interference.
Gotcha.
Cambridge number 27, Jonathan Romitz, receives 2 minutes for charging. These penalties
Charging is an interesting call there.
On the board. On top of that, Cambridge number 28, Sam Varsity, receives 2 minutes for holding.
2 minutes for holding is the call for Samu Moroshi.
So kept in the zone by Oxford. Clean win.
Oh, just fired into the skates there of Yuri Tamatagama by Sean Baig. Almost found the stick blade, and if they had, that might have been a fairly lethal combination, but Yuri posted up in the house. Sean Baig on the wall, sees Daly at the point, looking for Niels Lager in the slot, one-timer. Not going to find it. Loose, no. Quickly separated.
Key save by Neville there.
Jeff Fasega, I think, just running away with Jonathan Parker's stick. Some mind games going on.
Taking the hot stick, perhaps.
Huh?
Taking the hot stick.
Maybe that's what it is. He's like, mine's not working so hot right now. I'll swap it out for yours.
Clean win for Oxford again.
Here we go. Niels Lager has an absolute bomb on his point slap shots, but
of course
yet
Niels
to see it unleashed.
Niels being the only Swede on the team and having played college hockey in North America. Certainly not shy to these types of games.
No, not at all. I was talking to him over the break. I believe he was boot camping with some Swedish ex-pros to get some practice in over the Christmas vacation. Sean Bay dropping it off to Niels.
Calls
Here's
of
the
shoot
hammer.
from the fans.
Is he going to drop the hammer? Let's see it. Bang, there it is. No, off the stick of Charles Barr.
Yeah, brave block there from Barr.
I was going to say, it takes a lot of guts to get in front of a shot like that. Is going to be kept in, sliding Niels Lager, goes hard into the boards.
We're cleared by Cambridge.
Unfortunately, not going to be rewarded much for his effort. A chasing Charles Barr, Joe Dolan all the way out, gets back in time. Niels Lager takes the stinger, and I think is possibly hurting for it.
Absolutely, and a bit of a moment there for the Oxford
defence. Very
defence.
much hurting for it, I think. Yeah, Joe Dolan, over the course of the season, has been a particularly active goaltender. Oh, that was a bit of a shot in the back there. Martin Lindback-Stokin making the move.
Yeah,
Craig Convey bodying him off the puck, though. Martin Lindback-Stokin still with the puck in the corner.
And he's the kind of penalty killer you want out there. Silky, good with the puck, can eat the time in the corner.
Yeah, just keeping it stopped with his feet. Martin Lindback-Stokin is taking 4 members of the Oxford University Blues.
And the ref, I believe, may have called the play out of the zone.
I think so.
And Stoking gets a penalty.
That might be a delay of game. Is that a delay of game? I think that is a delay of game.
The referee is incensed.
That is a 2-minute minor. These refs are very much not taking anything for anything.
I imagine the ref probably warned Lindback-Stokin in the corner to play the puck, and he did not.
I think that's probably the case. So, having just come off the 2-minute minors,
and this is not a first for a varsity match. In Switzerland in 2018, Martin Vaselli got a 2-minute delay of game for camping in the corner, pretty much on the penalty kill, for not playing the puck.
That is interesting. The Oxford Blues having a brief team huddle in the middle. Now they're back on the power play.
Almost an unofficial timeout here.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure the refs are going to they're not happy with that.
Yeah,
Want them to get
refs
them
are
moving.
asking them to.
Get a move on.
Yeah.
That is going to sting for Cambridge. I think, you know, all credit, Martin Lindback-Stoker was doing a great job of tying up 4 of the Oxford University Blues.
Yeah.
Whether or not he was holding it on a bit too long and not really letting it move.
So the key players out
Arguably.
there. So we got Sebastian Halley on the face-off, Sean Bagg, Connor Daly on forward, Fasega and Lager on D.
And this is something that we've been noticing a couple of times. Fasega, normally playing that 1C role, is swapping back to D to, I think, bolster up the D core. Because as we previously mentioned, running only 5 D men does leave you short-handed on one of those pairings. So I think this is him essentially stepping up on the penalty, on the power play. Someone just went head over heel.
Yeah, Harley with an
Seb
interesting
Halley.
tactic there.
A lot of sliding.
Key play by Fasega there.
It's still kept alive. I'm not sure what happened on that sequence. Niels Lager looking to get in deep on the silk. And Sean Baig on the low wall. Ivan Gregor trying to find something on the chasing Seb Halley. Niels looking shifty. Jeff to fire the clapper.
Big save from Neville.
But taken up centre mass by Neville.
Yeah, he saw that all the way there.
I think so. Matt Neville, no real traffic in front to get in the way. That's fine. We're not worrying about that. No real traffic in front.
So Oxford's power play unit 2 out there now. Mike Furland on D with Matt Downer, Campus, Convey, and Yuri.
Time to gather. Looks like Furland's going to try and go big in
Another
the corners.
Cambridge face-off win there.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's been an Oxford strength, really. It's
Certainly not on the power play.
no, been more coin flippy than perhaps they would like. But I mean, in again deep. Charles Barr goes for the hit, hits the boards.
Yeah, going for the hit on the penalty kill there. And
Yeah,
a giveaway
great.
by Furland.
That is really not the kind of giveaway you want to get. You want to give away, really. Joe Dolan posted up on the near side post, and that is a colossal hit.
Takes a run.
Charles Barr,
No call from the ref though.
not afraid to play the body. And Craig Convey, one of the older members of the men's Blues.
Yeah.
Joe Dolan racing around to stop that puck. Again, you know, we've talked about this kind of active goaltending style. He likes to get out of the crease, likes to play the puck, and will very often make super acrobatic dives.
That was a delayed offside.
Oh, I think, no?
Oxford just
I
need to
wasn't sure if
settle
there
it
was a
here. They've got
slash.
20 seconds left on the power play.
Gregor coming in hard on Mike Furland, but Joe Dolan snapped it up. I think it's really time, Tim, for us to see something from the Dark Blues here. We're getting into a slight twilight phase where if something doesn't happen soon, you're going to start running out of steam, and then the frustrations are going to build.
Yeah, you're
If
100% right.
If you can get a goal now, that's a mental reset. You're going to be feeling much better about yourselves.
Yeah, get
And
the
then-
crowd back into it, get some
Exactly.
confidence.
Because that's a huge consideration. These guys are playing the biggest match of their uni careers in front of a home crowd, which is, you know, pretty well full up the stands.
And we have a penalty.
I think that might be Seb
believe
Halley
that's
again.
Sebastian Halley again for hooking, I believe.
It is. The ref's not happy. I think they're slamming the stick in frustration as well. Yeah.
But Halley goes to the box without any word.
He
No
does.
misconduct, so that's good.
I think he knows to keep his mouth shut on that one.
Yeah.
I think the Blues recently had a bit of a discipline chat because towards the tail end of the season it was getting a little bit scrappy, and I think they just wanted to make sure they were stamping that out and not. So current score for anyone who's just joining us: Cambridge lead 3-0, almost halfway into the second period. Both teams currently down to 4 men, with Cambridge about to be back to a power play advantage, with alternate captain Martin Lindback-Stokin back on the ice. They're going to have all the time in the world to set this up. Power play just begun, and here comes the Cambridge breakout. Partington and Barr splitting aside for Jonathan Rumich. Drop back for Martin Lindback-Stokin. Played across for Ivan Gregor. Hasn't quite got the touch. Called in by the ref. Scott Partington in close.
Puts
sends
wide.
it far.
Good luck though for Cambridge.
That was a very good look. Unfortunate that the shot didn't really connect for them, because that was quite frankly lethal, getting in that close with no real defensive pressure to speak of. Fired in from the point. Still loose.
Rebound put wide by Partington there. I think he had an open net.
I think he might have done. Dolan took the first one, but maybe gave up more of a rebound than he was expecting to. There's the shot from J.R. Romic.
Yeah,
Martin Lindback Stoken to collect.
He's done that all season long as well.
Yeah, posted up on the point. Scott Partington working the boards. Connor Daly, is he going to go for the hit? No, does pull out.
Smart play.
I think so. Neil's just staying low, staying on their feet. I think the most important thing for the Oxford guys now is not to jump on any of them.
Yeah.
As soon as you jump and swing, then you're playing 5-on-3. They have all the space in the world. Matt Downer with a brilliant clearance.
Yeah, coming up clutch there.
That's going to buy them a lot of time. I mean, you can see that, Cambridge slowing up. They've got the change in. I mean, that was a long shift by any margin. So Oxford able to get some fresh legs in. Maybe not quite hustling as much on the back check as they perhaps need to be.
That's right, yeah. And Cambridge managing to sustain that zone. With 20 seconds left on the power play.
Lindback Stoken works the corner, has Murray on the point, has Romic in front, couldn't find it. Lindback Stoken has the empty net, but Joe Dolan slides across just in time. Is there a whistle? No, just whistles in the crowd. Whistles in the crowd. Oh no, that was a ref's whistle.
Two great looks there for Cambridge. That cross crease pass, lethal. Both to Romic and to Lindback Stoken there.
I mean, yeah, like you say, that kind of going low to high and then the lateral movement as well swung so much in Cambridge's favour so quickly. Joe Dolan did very well to react to that and get back across, but Martin Lindback Stoken, at least from where I'm seeing, and I've got pretty much the same angle he did, had a wide open net. Someone tell... Oxford now back to full strength. So have a bit of a chance to regroup, but body laid in hard by the Cambridge number 8, Thomas Griffins, who I seem to recall having a particularly strong showing last year. I think some of the other players on the team this year have been pulling up big. So again, like we said with the women here, Tim, when you have a squad with depth, you're not expecting maybe all of your guys to have the same minutes. Is that another hooking call?
We have another penalty, folks.
I think that's Cambridge number 8.
Yeah, Griffiths there.
Thomas Griffiths, just as we talk about him, having a bit of a quiet game. That is another hooking call. So Oxford back on the power play. Haven't really been able to make much of it so far.
Yeah. Both teams have got to be careful here. The ice is cutter. There's been a lot of end-to-end action, a lot of grinding in the corners. You have to keep your feet moving, otherwise you're going to take silly penalties.
Yeah,
hookings, strippings, that kind of. But Oxford with another opportunity here.
This is a real chance for Oxford. I think if this one isn't going in, that's a big opportunity wasted, and I'm not sure what their game plan to get back in is. Refs just giving some words of caution. But this is really a do-or-die kind of situation. Jeff just has it in his feet. Fasega can't quite keep a handle. Martin Lindback Stoken racing. Jeff just gets there in time.
Two speedsters there going at it.
Yeah, getting the inside line. Wheels one, shoots high.
Big save, Neville.
Big kick save from Neville. Connor Daly now working down low. I mean, Matt Neville.
That was a good save.
We talked about Alicia Anderson having a strong performance for the women. Matt Neville is really putting the brakes on this Oxford side. Great stop by Dolan now. Cambridge still with the zone.
Cambridge looking like they're on the power play here.
Yeah, it really doesn't feel like they're short-handed. I think Oxford need to get some feet moving now. Jeff's going to take a minute off.
And here's Sean Baig, number 88 for Oxford.
Still with the puck in his feet.
Oxford's co-leading goal scorer, I believe. Eligible players.
Of eligible players. It looks like there's a breakaway sprung out there.
Partington.
Jack Murphy. Scott Partington waits out the goal. He tries to go all the way around. Doesn't get the wrap. It's a big hit from Sean Baig.
Yeah, key play from Baig there. Not the biggest guy, but
he doesn't need to be.
He doesn't need to be. That was a key.
He plays above his weight class, really.
Oh, good setup for
the disruption there from Jack Murphy, really coming in clutch, getting the stick in the lane, because if you let Oxford have that look from there, Scott Partington, pretty warmed up. Now Ray Campus, can he unlock? No, just another giveaway, and Scott Murphy looking to try and
Oxford
snap that up.
looking for the change here. Got some tired bodies out.
Yeah, I mean, this whole power play, Tim, we already mentioned it once, but it doesn't feel like Cambridge is the one with the man down.
No.
Let's go. Let's see Yuri Tamatagama looking for the option. Big rebound given up, but Oxford not really able to get on top of it.
Yep, Cambridge first on the rebound.
2 seconds, back to even strength now for Cambridge. Thomas Griffiths
straight out there.
He is not heading to the bench. I thought originally he was going to look for the change. And already back in the action, one-on-one is going to get sent wide by Mikey Furlan. Mike Agareve just fans on the clearance. Now Cambridge have some really quite aggressive looking zone time. Connor Daly, is he able to get to it? No, not before number 27, Jonathan Romich. And we've seen in the league, what in the regular season gameplay, what a monster he can be when left unattended. Something like 27 points in 6 games played.
Yeah, I believe he leads Division 1 South in all point scorers. You know, granted, a number of these games are against, you know, the likes of Imperial UCL who just haven't managed to, you know,
string together a team.
Ice a full team.
Save, diving save from Joe Dolan to keep the Oxford men's Blues in it. But you really can't be giving away too many more of those, because that's going to take a toll not only on the goalie but also on the rest of the team mentally. Jeff Fasega and Jack Murphy.
Some extracurriculars there.
I think so. And now there's a big crushing hit from Jeff Fasega.
Yeah, Fasega looking to spark his team here. He's the captain and he needs to get the guys going.
I think that's absolutely what we're seeing. We're seeing a little bit of, this is a call to arms essentially. He's saying, boys, are you going to follow me into battle or not? Because he's ready to put his body on the line for this team. Niels Lager weaving, gets the dump in. Jeff going to take a moment. Niels Lager still going. Knocked off the puck by Jack Murphy. Craig looking to feed the slot. Matt Neville makes the save, comes up big. Tim, even if Matt Neville is injured, he's not playing like it. If he's been recovering from injury this season, this is a remarkable kind of tour de force return to form.
Yeah, he looks like a #1 string goalie out there at the moment.
Absolutely. I mean, in years gone by, he very much was the #1 goalie for Cambridge. This year, they've clearly been blessed with, a big hit. That must have been Craig Convey laying the body. As I was saying, they've been blessed by an abundance of goalies. A giveaway. Joe Dolan with the blocker on the right-hand side denies the shot there, I believe, from Scott Partington. As now Seb Halley fishing for that high man play, not quite able to find it as Goncharov keeps him tied up. Seb Halley giving some afters to Seb catching the stick.
Yeah.
Tom Morgan really taking some exception to whatever was going on there.
Yeah, Goncharov flipping his stick in the air there and Halley just saying, thanks, I'll take that back.
Yeah, nice move, but is it going to convert? Good save from Dolan with the stick there. And Seb Halley with the interception. Can he get it rocking? Not quite.
No
Jack
call.
Murphy to his feet.
Potential trip there, but
I think it was just about clean. Connor Daly now has to get this moving.
line 2 changing. The Cambridge clubs have a long history with the school in Zuaz in the Engadine Valley there in Switzerland. Both going for training camps, both playing the school teams, alumni teams.
Yeah.
And, graciously they host both teams every winter for a training camp.
And of note, in this year's tournament, Oxford went undefeated, taking a 4-0 win against Cambridge in that tournament. Yeah. Granted, with some slightly different bodies.
Yeah, that's right. You don't know who's going to show up to these kind of camps, and maybe Cambridge, didn't have their best players there. But
right. I mean, again, I think it wasn't. Oh, okay, penalty called. Who on? I think that's an Oxford penalty. Tripping, perhaps.
Or tripping or slashing, not quite sure, but a stick work either way.
Yeah.
And that's Michael Furlan.
Yeah, normally a pretty clean player. Slashing it is. I think the ref originally was slightly bent over when he gave the call, so it looked a bit like a tripping, but no, that is very clearly a slashing. Yeah,
with just over 2 minutes left in the second period here.
This is not good if you're an Oxford fan. I think that's somewhat stating the obvious here, Tim, but
no,
that's a rough one to take.
And it has been a penalty-ridden period from both teams, really.
Yeah. I mean, surprisingly, following that hit in the first on Jonathan Koenig, the first was relatively clean.
Yeah.
Well, if we can ever call a Varsity game clean.
But that's the tiredness coming through.
Yeah.
The battles in the corners, the edge that you're trying to gain.
Exactly. I think people are just getting a little bit sloppy. Joe Dolan sprawling and with a glove save on the line. Joe Dolan comes up clutch.
Joe Dolan channeling channeling his inner Oxford goalie there from years gone by.
I mean, the save that immediately springs to mind for me, Tim, is Martin Vesely, I think it was. I think it was actually Fabian Signer at Nationals.
That's right. That's right.
Block. That was just stunning. Joe Dolan on his backside, but still manages to make the glove read. Ivan Greger just bumped along by Jeffrey Fasega at the top of the blue line. But Cambridge still with possession deep in the zone. Scott Partington in the corner. Niels Lager trying to take him to task. Jeff Fasega coming in after the fact to try and clear out who I believe to be Jack Murphy. No, Martin Lindback Stoken, and it's a long clearance.
Yeah,
no
good stick there
icing,
from Connor
course.
Daly.
No icing on the the penalty kill.
So Cambridge looking to set this up here.
That's Greger to Lindback Stoken. Lindback Stoken looking up. Scott Partington takes it in from the hash marks.
Oh.
Tries to snipe the corner.
Was that post?
It hit the woodwork. Lindback Stoken at the top of the circles. No slide across. Goes high.
That ricocheted
I think
close.
that was off the shoulder of Charles Bra there, right in front. But Cambridge now really looking to work this power play. That's Jack Murphy in front, and Joe Dolan has it secured.
Yeah, this is a good outfit for Cambridge. They've got all their best players out there. They're managing to work the puck on the periphery, find the pass through the middle.
I mean, it's very much looking like a dominant game for Cambridge. If we don't see a big change, and soon, that I think it's going to be. It could very well be curtains for Oxford. Even with Fasega trying to hype up the guys, you know, taking some of those much more aggressive trades, we're still not really kind of seeing the fire, or at least the conversion, perhaps.
Certainly something has to change from the Oxford side. I mean, 3-0 is still surmountable.
Yeah.
But you know, you really need to get your key players getting some key goals soon.
I think so, and it needed to be about 10 minutes ago, if only just to get the motivation of the crowd back on side. Well held by Joe Dolan. Matt Downer just making sure there's no extras.
Doing his due diligence in front of goal there.
With Aidan Crawford, Tamashauskas, making sure that Joe's not getting any extra snow in his boots. It's a long clear out. I think that was from Fasega all the way down. Matt Neville there, looking to play the puck, bounce it off the wall. Big hit in from Connor Daly. And Cambridge again looking to try and hit the high man. But icing called.
With 12 seconds left on Furlan's penalty.
My suspicion is he's going to go straight to the bench and they're going to pull someone on instead of him. I don't think we're going to see the same situation we did with, I believe it was number 8, must have been Thomas Griffiths, where Thomas Griffiths immediately got in the mix.
So Niels Lager instructing Furlan to stay on.
No, I stand corrected. Niels, the ultimate captain, Niels Lager, laying down the law and saying, Mike Furlan, get on the ice and post up as a D-man.
Yeah,
I assume in order to unlock Jeff again as a forward.
That's right.
Thomas Griffiths there.
Oh, bit of a giveaway.
Aidan Crawford, Tamashauskas.
Courageous block there by Fasega.
Fasega and Lager there, both putting the body on the line. Mikey Furlan had the speed, but Oxford just not quite connecting. It's getting a little bit scrappy from them. Halley not going to be happy about some of the stick work there. Jeff giving...
Jeff following
Jack
through
Murphy,
on some hits there.
Yeah. Making sure no one's getting away cleanly.
Final 10 seconds here.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to see anything more from this. Just a bit of time wasting
Oxford
in the
just
corner.
need to eat that or clear it.
Yeah. Wade getting moving, but it's a bit too little too late.
Potential trip on the player there. No. Oh, what's that called?
I believe that was just called, so I suspect that Scott Partington will start the next period in the box.
Yeah, that was... Partington just need to look up at the clock there and realise there were 3 seconds left, and he would have...
It's an unnecessary penalty to take.
Yeah,
especially,
I mean, skating away from the goal, that whatever.
With the opportunity, I'm not sure if we're going to get that called. It may not be called. We're just checking with the refs to figure out what's happening, but that may end up being a 2-minute minor at the start for Cambridge. We will keep you posted on that. But in the meantime, we're going to take a short intermission for the final ice cut of the night before the action wraps up here at the 105th Men's Blues Ice Hockey Varsity match.
And again, in that period, number 10, Scott Partington from Cambridge, received a 2-minute penalty.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the final period of the 105th Men's Ice Hockey Varsity match. I am once again joined by Tim Donaldson in the booth. Tim, this is the last rodeo. It's do or die time. Cambridge currently lead Oxford 3-0. They are starting the period on the penalty kill, rather. I think we have the Cambridge player is in the wrong box. So we're just going to have to hunt him down and put him back in the right box.
The first 2 minutes of this period is absolutely key for Oxford.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt in anyone's mind they need to score on this power play.
Quite right. I'm assuming that, if we don't see something pretty explosive from them pretty quickly, the thing that was observed by some of the spectators is he's essentially warming up every 5 minutes. Every time there's a face-off, he's kind of in his butterfly doing some kind of stretching. Scott Partington has just joined me on my right-hand side in the Cambridge box. So we are underway for the third and final period of this year's varsity contest. Oxford trailing at the moment 3-0 with a chance to try and get some action on the power play. Hustling hard is Jeff Versager to regain control of the puck.
That's right. So Oxford's captain Jeff Versager and assistant Niels Lager out there leading the defensive outfit there. With line 2 here, we got Sebastian Halley, number 21, Connor Daly, number 29.
Sean Baig taking the shot into the pants of Charles Bra, but nothing doing. A little bit of a tussle in the corner. Seb Halley trying to find something, any action at all, as Niels Lager manages to keep that one on the inside. Oh, that was a powerful hit there from Evgeny Goncharov into the numbers of Connor Daly. Joe Dolan just stopping the puck up behind the net as captain Jeff Versager looks to start moving his men around. Chased very hard on the forecheck here. Very hard indeed by number 91, Aidan Crawford, Tamashelskas.
Yeah, credit to number 91 there. That was a good forecheck.
Incredibly strong pressure, and you can see that Oxford have immediately been thrown off kilter by it. Cambridge chasing them again. Martin Lindback-Stoken really looking to hound this one down. Again, Tim, it doesn't feel like Cambridge are actually a man down. It feels like they're at least even strength. Yeah,
and speaking to some of the alumni up in the stands, the main comment was that Cambridge just seem to want it more at the moment.
They do seem to want the win. I think Oxford maybe, this is a speculation at this point, but maybe came into this with a little bit more ego and expectation. Wade Campbell's almost making a really nice move, but quickly dispossessed by Jonathan Parker.
Yeah, and cleared.
Perhaps Oxford came into this with a little bit more ego than Cambridge. Cambridge knowing that they've been down all season.
Certainly, Cambridge definitely coming into this match with something to prove. I think so. Lost the last matchup against Oxford in the league competition.
Yeah. I mean, going for a draw of the first game of the season at home, okay, it's fine. But it's probably not the result you want. Oh, big hit, and someone's gone down hard. Wade Camphor slow to get up. I'm not quite sure who laid the hit. It might have been Charles Bra.
Yeah, he's not looking too good there.
Charles Barr, excuse me. Wade heading to the bench, really looking a bit shaken up. But yeah, as we were saying, drawing the first game of the season, okay, it's an all right start. Losing then the return leg doesn't feel great. Losing in Switzerland also, I assume, does not feel great. So Cambridge definitely have something to really kind of work for here and prove that, hey, actually, we are the stronger side. It's a lovely spin move from Jack Murphy to throw that one in deep. Niels Lager being chased down by Thomas Griffiths.
Oh, a bit of a hit there for Sager on Morosi.
Nice save by Joe Dolan. A little bit of a scramble after the fact, but Niels Lager just making sure no extracurriculars there.
Lager taking the prisoners there.
Now, what does strike me as interesting, we were talking earlier about Jerome de Calvier not being on the ice anymore. I'm not actually sure. He is still on the bench, but I just haven't seen him very much. I don't know if he's actively playing or if he's out on injury and kind of hanging out with some of the other guys. The second and third string goalies, Brunner and Peltonen.
Wow, Gregor puts on his wallet there.
That's sending a message right there.
Yeah, captain on captain. And
Niels.
Again, Gregor down.
That's two in quick succession. Lindback-Stoken tries to dangle. Wade gets the stick check in. Campher's coming up clutch. Thrown back in by Aidan Crawford. Tamashauskas. And still held by Cambridge. 4.5 minutes down. Jeff Versega.
Versega just manhandling the light blue there.
I think giving him a little bit of an extra in the back after the fact. I think it's pretty evident that Jeff Versega is
Limbach Stoken there going limp.
There's no love lost between those two. Limbach Stoken now looking to the ref to say, hey, what was that all about? No call made.
Yeah, just good hard hockey there.
Limbach Stoken, of course, one of the other co-president to Simrat Sodhi from the women's game. So some, what's the word I'm looking for? Firepower in the club admin department on the ice at the very least.
Every club needs them.
I mean, the rest is coming, not quite sure. So we have blood on the ice.
Could we get a number of ring staff down to the ice surface? There is blood on the ice that needs to be cleared up. Ring staff to the ice surface, please.
We don't know whose blood that is.
No, we're not quite sure who.
It could even be the refs, I don't know.
There does seem to be, sorry for the volume increase. There does seem to be a fairly impressive trail of blood along the ice, which makes me think someone has just been kind of dribbling as they've gone from zone to zone.
I mean, could have been a result of some of those big hits from the Oxford boys.
Possibly, very possibly. I think one of the refs here just trying to shave up and clean that off. Obviously want to be avoided in case of, any unkind transmission of illness. So important to get that appropriately dealt with.
But a chance for Oxford here to, assess where they are 4 minutes into this third period and try and figure out, how to solve this Cambridge game.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is it. It's a puzzle solve and they just haven't got the answer key right now. Whether or not they're going to be able to find it, come up with it. We have got a member of ring staff now.
I mean, as we discussed earlier, it's easy for us to talk and analyse it. It's much harder for them to execute as a unit on the ice.
Exactly. I mean, you're seeing very different things as well.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's got to start with more shots.
I think that's very true. We're seeing a lot of... I mean, this has been the case, I think, across a lot of the Oxford teams. This is not exclusive to the men's blues. It's probably more a reflection of the club this season. But a lot of handles first, shots later. And it really needs to be started to look the other way around, where we're getting the shots in first, then looking to crash the net, rather than... we do have some very good stick handlers across some of the squads. I think against a team like Cambridge, especially this Cambridge men's blues side, it's not working. And it's just time to reevaluate and say, actually, hey, we're not going to be able to beat them one-on-one. It looks like they're playing good enough shutdown D. It's time to just start firing pucks on net. Maybe Neville gives up a bad rebound or two, which there have been one or two of. And try and capitalise from that opportunity.
100%. Neville's certainly grown into the game, and he looks quite comfortable now. Like, he hasn't really been tested for a good, 10, 15 minutes.
No, quite right. And again, we kind of look over every now and again and just see he's stretching or he's kind of skating around, staying warm, staying fresh. Not really given too much to do right now by the Oxford boys, which they kind of need to change effectively.
Yeah, they just need to adapt on the fly and realise what their game requires. I mean, I'm sure there are many folk at home, many great hockey minds, alumni watching, who are screaming at the stream what to do.
Yeah.
We're equally thinking, do this, do that.
I mean, then again, it's such a different position to be in. On the bench, you're looking at entirely different things versus on the ice. You're thinking about what you guys are doing, maybe not always what they're doing, or, the inverse. I think we perhaps have a perspective that they don't really have right now. Yeah. And maybe that's, a little bit of bench vision.
Yeah, I mean, certainly when you're on the bench, in the locker room, wherever, you just look around at everyone and think, well, who's going to step up here?
Yeah.
Jeff Versega, the Oxford captain, has really put his body on the line to block shots, take hits, drive the net,
Yeah.
You can look around all you want, but ultimately, you got to look inside yourself and really find that energy, that, motivation, dig deep and really work for it.
Exactly.
Someone's got to take charge here.
I think so. I mean, Jeff Versega has definitely been a man stepping up to that plate. If you think that he's essentially been leading the team, probably in hits, you know, most everything else. He's very near the top of the score sheet overall on the season.
Yeah.
Very much a lead by example character. Just a message from our producer Aaron, banging tunes going on in the ring right now. While we just get the last of this blood on the ice cleaned up, I think we're pretty much there, and we should be good to get back underway. We have run slightly over our time, or well, we're looking at running over our time a little bit here, due to the length of that first women's game and then the lengthy stoppages we've had in this game.
Well, personally, I'm hoping we win over by quite a lot because I want an overtime period.
It would be good. It would be good to see some fight. Not some fights, though, just to clarify. Some fight from the team, some good compete.
Although I'm sure some of these boys would not hesitate.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Oh.
Another false start.
And we are away again, 16 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third period. Oxford still trailing Cambridge with a 3-goal deficit. And it just seems like whatever they try is not quite sticking.
Yeah, just unable to gain the blue line there and get the puck deep.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those old hockey cliches, isn't it? You know, gain the blue line, pucks in deep, shots on net, but it's a cliche for a reason, right? Some of these strats really do work.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes when you're trying to figure out another team, you just got to start with the simple things.
Yeah.
Not overthink it, just do the basics, get it right, get some momentum, just build from there.
I think that's another giveaway by Sean. Oh, sorry, another Oxford giveaway. That was an unlucky hit from Wade, who's already, I think, taken a fair share of his in this game. Burnsy with a great block in the shins. Sean Baig takes a dive off the back of Martin Limbach.
Yeah, potential clipping there on the Oxford player, but the ref lets it slide.
Sure. But no, we were saying, oh, big hit from Yuri, gets the boys fired up, but swiftly dispatched by Evgeny Goncharov. I'm still looking for Jerome Decovier. I'm not convinced I've seen him. But maybe my eyesight just isn't what it used to be.
Jeff Fasega beats out the icing call there. But again, Cambridge managed to clear it.
I mean, the thing about these clears as well, they're never really in danger of any icing. They're playing them pretty much straight to the Oxford players in the neutral zone and then can push on the forecheck. Martin Limbach-Stoken takes on 2. Doesn't really get there. Jeff, taking the body very well, is Jeff Fasega. Doing some playmaking here.
Yeah, Fasega signalling with his stick behind the net where for his players to go.
Mikey Furlan trying to pull the move, but Tiago Richardson shuts that down pretty quickly. That looks like a huge
big hit there.
Monstrous hit from Jeff Fasega. And
another one.
Jack Murphy and Evgeny Goncharov in quick succession. Oh, sorry, that is Jerome Decovier. He has made an appearance. Maybe I've just been misreading the numbers. But Jerome very quickly put on his backside.
Yeah, and Oxford with a little bit of sustained pressure here.
Moscow Mike, can he find it? Jeff pushing.
And
that is a scramble and a half. Puck is still loose. The puck is still loose.
How did that not go in?
No whistle has been called. The net was very much unguarded. Matt Neville, I think, being sat on by
a big pylon with Matt Neville at the bottom.
I think so. At least Jeff Fasega and probably 2 of his own guys. That is a source pass to nowhere. Matt Burns having to play defense against a 3-on-1 rush. Joe makes the blocker save. Joe Toll in there.
Great back check there from 91 Koenig.
Very strong back check from Jacob in order to get back into that fight.
Yes, a bit of heart showing from the Oxford team there, getting bodies on the net, getting pucks on net, and unfortunate not to get a goal there.
Yeah, I think so.
And certainly not a penalty.
I'm amazed that no whistle call went out during that whole scrum. If I was Matt Neville, I would not be a happy bunny.
No, I'd be infuriated.
Nice glove save from Joe Don in there, flashing the leather. No, I would not be a happy camper that not only am I being sound by the opposition, but also my own guys. I'm probably more incensed by the fact that Jeff has fallen over on him, but
I mean, you can't stop him.
No, and it's not improbable that there was probably some pushing or some extra physicality there that assisted, if you like. that final result.
So Cambridge is a top unit out there, I believe.
Yeah, we've got Goncharov, Barr,
Partington.
Yeah, some of the big guns. J.R. Rovic.
Parker.
I think Parker's had something of maybe not quiet game is perhaps the wrong way of phrasing it, but as we've already said, you know, when you've got guys like Partington, Goncharov tearing up the ice, kind of both ends, Lindback Stoken as well, you know, putting in really quite monstrous shifts, it's easier to, as Burnsy takes his line, easier to kind of fade a little bit in the grand scheme of the team game. I think the shot went wide. I'm not actually sure he got a piece of it.
Yeah, that was a deceptive shot from Partington there.
Yeah.
And he rides his man into the board.
Seb Halley chasing in deep, not looking to get sent to the box for anything else. Mikey Farland turned away by Matt Neville, the stick of Matt Neville, sending that one clear to the corner. As Lindback Stoken now unlocks Ivan Gregor, has Aiden with him, Taramashowskis.
Swallowed by Dolan.
Very nicely done by Joe. Centre mass. Again, a lot of the shots we saw in the women's game had the same issue. Even some of the shots we've seen in this game, hitting the goalies square in the chest. That's, for goalies of this calibre, really not a problem. They're going to take that all day, just crunch it down, and it's never seen the light of day again. Just checking what's going on with the refs here, just seeing what the update is. We'll see if we can get that pass down the line. What the additional information was. While we wait for that though, it's going to get blasted around the boards
and out by Niels Lager. It was in fact Niels Lager doing the bleeding. He is now switched jersey and by the looks of things has his entire jaw bandaged up. So I rather suspect it was him getting clipped under the visor. Now wearing number 7 jersey with the name Vaboom on it. That is still number 53 Niels Lager. Jeff Versager hustling hard, but Tomas Griffin's able to work that puck around. Now Jonathan Parker has Evgeny Goncharov in the far corner. Connor Daly going to get there first perhaps, but takes a pretty hefty hit into the back from Samu Moroshi. Goncharov now. Goncharov, someone falling, that's all the way off. I believe that was Connor Daly just getting caught up. Yeah, good stuff from the Oxford team there, you know, driving the net, getting into the dirty areas, trying to get Neville off his game.
I mean, just looking at that injury report there on Niels Lager, I think it must have been a stick or a puck that's caught him up high under the visor on the chin.
Yeah, and you know what, if that's a stick, you know, that's a fortunate break for Cambridge. That could have been a 4-minute double minor.
I think actually blood injuries catch the major possibly.
No, it's high stick and double minor for when you draw blood. I mean, it could have been, it could be a major if the refs feeling particularly
aggrieved, which, to be fair this evening, may have been not in the mood to take any nonsense.
So Cambridge fortunate that wasn't a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, a good attempt there. I think that was Jack Murphy just winding up, but straight into the waiting chest of Joe Dolan. Matt Burns going to take the late change to the bench. Now, Jack Murphy again into the shins of one of the Line 2 Zoo members. Niels turning down low, Scott Partington chasing him. Turns away from 1, turns away from 2. And now gets the, another turnover. Charles Barr looking to try and get something settled.
Oxford just unable to...
Joe Dolan with a monstrous read. I'm not sure if that came off his mask. It sounded like it hit the Lexan.
Key save from Dolan there. But again, it's a save that, you know, we don't want to see because of Oxford's turnover.
It exists, yeah. I'm not convinced that it was a dangler, remembering that he doesn't actually wear one. So it might have been a helmet hit. I wasn't quite sure. It might have caught a stick.
So Cambridge setting up with Lindback Stoken right behind the face-off trigger guy.
Yeah, I think there's a set play here to try and get it to the point man. I think Gregor was the slap shot.
Great read by Felon, who's breaking with it, chips it deep.
Chips it down. Let's see Connor Daly. Can he find Sean Baig in the slot? Can't find him so far. Felon up at the point on the offhand. Richardson tries to give him a little bit of afters. Jeff working deep against Ivan Gregor. And again, wheels back round. Goncharov and Gregor just double teaming for Sega behind the net.
I mean, that's what they need to do.
Yeah, that's, you know, a key example of like shut down man-to-man defense. You know he's the problem guy. Stick 2 men on him. He's not going to be able to beat them.
Yeah, and that was great play by Gregor there. You know, putting his body between the puck and Fasega there.
And then actually relying on your teammate as well. If you have, oh, there's a foul on the pass from Mike Furlan. Knowing that, okay, one of us has got the body, one of us has got the puck. Gregor now with a breakout, has the shot, but once again, centre mass. Mike Furlan, I think, giving him a little bit of extracurricular after, but...
With just under 10 minutes left here in the third period.
9:50 on the clock. Oxford still held scoreless. Matt Neville has been something of a brick wall for Cambridge between the pipes. I'm not sure, Tim, if we're going to see a breakthrough. If we do, it's going to have to be fast.
Yeah, but you know,
soon.
we both know what these players are capable of, and you know, it's certainly within them. But they've got to get it going here.
Absolutely. Oh, a potential tripping call. No, Morgan back on his feet. Tom Morgan there. Slightly weak shot from Charles Barr off to the side.
You know,
wheeling now is a big hit from Craig.
And he's going to the
body away.
He's going to the bench there.
I think Craig a little bit winded on that one.
Yeah.
I thought he'd given as good as he got. Looks like Charles Barr again trying to get some body laid on Matt Downer in the corner. Sean Baig in deep behind the net. Again, Tim, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to sense a bit of the intensity dropping. I think the fatigue is really hitting them now.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially some of this D-core. You've only got 5 bodies on the ice.
Yeah, Baig there at the end of a shift.
Yeah. Mike Agariv standing strong in the face of this pressure from Samuel Morosi. And that's all the way up to the top. Jack Murphy has the look, but held up in traffic. Charles Barr working to the top of the point. Connor Daly going to give him a little bit of a show afterwards. Oh, that was a very lethal pass. Thomas Griffin's not found in the slot. Connor Daly now on the breakout. Has 3 defenders to work through. Sends it straight into the waiting pad of Matt Neville. Now held up in the corner. We already saw a delay of game penalty. And Matt Neville almost swallows it. Yuri Tamatagama not able to get the puck there off that rebound. That was a dangerous chance for Oxford. Neville not able to keep a hold of it. Puck bouncing just out in front of the open slot. Jeff. Oh, I think he was going for the change, but I think there's just a series of bad communications, a bad change as well, right in front of the oncoming Martin Lindback-Stokin.
Yeah. Convey's back out there. He seems fine.
Good. That is what we like to see. Goncharov just skating in front of the bench, ready to line up for something. But I think, Tim, I don't know about you, but we're seeing the fight kind of die out a little bit here.
Yeah, someone's got to step up here. We've got just over 7 minutes left.
I think we're stringing together a couple of passes now. That's a positive look. Craig
unable to shoot there.
Yeah, almost a little fake shot.
And what we'll see, coming into the last 5 minutes here is Cambridge will just buckle down here. They'll send a light forechecker. They're not going to take any risks.
I think that's it. They're just going to play safe, aren't they? They have nothing to really lose by playing slow.
Absolutely.
Goncharov tying up the stick there of Jacob Honig-Rosario. Seb Halley trying to get in on that, but nothing doing. Niels Lager unlocks Sean Baig. Puck almost coming straight out from Ivan Gregor into the penalty box. Jerome de Calvier back on the ice again. Tied up with Jacob Honig-Rosario. Jeff Fasega. A monstrous ride from Scott Partington. And Jeff's getting a little bit slower than he was. That, I think, is a pretty clear knee on knee or clipping or
slash
something.
Potentially.
I think that's... I'm not quite sure what the call is. We're just
charging.
The refs.
That's Connor Daly, number 29, 2 minutes for charging.
I don't know about you, Tim, but I have a feeling that might be the nail in the coffin.
Well, that's a frustration penalty for sure.
It is. You can tell, I mean, he's talking to the ref.
He's not happy.
He's not happy in it, but
he's probably just not happy with the scoreline.
I think so. He's not giving anything back. He's just like, hey, they're riding us hard. But it's what happens in this game.
But you need to kind of step up in that way. So, obviously Connor Daly, former London Dragon player, he's played in his Varsities in London. Yeah. He knows what it takes to win, and he's won a few championships.
Two-time BYHA Div 1 league titles.
So if that's what it takes to get the guys rallied.
Well read there from Matt Neville.
For Sega, given the extracurriculars there.
I think Lindback Stoken wants that one back. Joe Dolan, good hold. Yeah, I don't see Martin Lindback Stoken taking that one lightly.
But we know Lindback Stoken likes to talk as well. He'll be chatting regardless of what's happening out there.
I think one thing is for sure, between both of these teams, we have a lot of big mouths.
And certainly big egos.
Certainly big egos to match.
But you know, that's sometimes what it takes to win, to lead a team, right?
Right. I mean, we talked about it earlier. Hockey is just as much a mental game as it is a physical one. If you can get in the other guy's heads, you cause that kind of chaos. Up way high and wide. Joe Dolan snaps on it, still loose behind the net, looking for the save.
Massive.
Joe Dolan with a massive save, glove down. That's the second he's had in the game. A little bit of afters there.
Potentially save of the game there. I know it's in the last 5 minutes here or so, but that was stellar.
That was this is the final crunch. Partington lining up. I'm sure he's trading colourful words with Seb Halley. Jack Murphy has Lindback Stoken with him. Jonathan Romich shoots.
Oh, good save.
Cleared. I'm not sure if it was traffic in front or off the goaltender, Joe Dolan. Scott Partington looking to make the wraparound, tries to make the shot. Joe Dolan diving down for the save. Scott Partington in the corner. Murphy from Romich up in the air.
Yeah, this Oxford unit right now looks gassed.
Yeah, I think the legs are gone. Just about kept out of danger, but Joe Dolan is working overtime on some of these switch-ups. Cambridge moving the puck really well. Romich going to try and pick a corner.
Hits the wrong net.
Gone out on the far back netting.
But Cambridge certainly looking for that final nail here.
Yeah, I think if we're honest, Tim, it may have already been delivered. That penalty has really not put Oxford in a good spot. They're working hard, but is it too little too late? Did Cambridge just get that extra edge and not let up since? Tamatagama versus Goncharov on the boards. Jeff Versager, the crowd comes to life. Can Jeff Versager make something happen? Looks like he just lost an edge somewhere. Yuri working hard. I think Tamatagama here has been somewhat galvanized by his captain. As now Ivan Gregor comes racing back the other way with Crawford, Tamarashauskas. Aiden setting up, takes the shot, goes high and wide. Thomas Griffiths looking to circle back round. And that is just chipped up high by Tiago Richardson. Griffiths on the boards again. No real contest from the Oxford squad here. They're just trying to keep the house. Goal screen in front now from Aiden Richardson. Dolan does not have a clear line of sight. They've even got two men in front now, Crawford Taramashkauskas and, sorry, not Tiago Richardson. But, no, not quite sure who it was. I think it was Tiago Richardson in the end, my mistake. Thomas Griffiths now, thought he had the line on Mike Agary, but Mike able to clear. Charles Barr tried to hold on, still slightly delayed offside from Thomas Griffiths. But nothing called. 4 minutes 20 left on the clock. We are in the twilight stages of this game. It's a good long clear. Craig Conley sprung loose, has Sean Bake in the centre. It's a slightly dodgy pass though. I think they're sticking the lane.
That's right, I think he ricocheted a bit there.
Yeah, I think they didn't quite have it as clean as they would like, but I mean, that's a prime scoring chance if they can make it land, which is really unfortunate. Up, high, wide, and out goes the puck. Perhaps looking for a new one. Well, I don't know about mystery here, Tim. This one seems pretty solved if you ask the Cambridge fans. Although, I mean, both sides of the crowd, much quieter than expected.
Yeah. I think both just anticipating, the final 4 minutes here.
Yeah.
Almost, like on the edge of the seats, I think.
I think so. Niels Lager to try and have a look in, almost snuck by off a dodgy redirect in front. Craig Convey not happy that the stick is being whipped out of his hands. Thomas Griffiths now has Samuel Morosi in the centre. Samuel Morosi down in the far corner. He's going to get crunched by Sean Bake, but manages to kind of reverse that hit pretty well. Penalty called. I wonder.
It's on the
looks
Oxford.
like an Oxford penalty.
And then another.
I think they're both going.
That's right. Sean Bake, number 88 for Oxford, and number 28, is that
I
for
believe
Cambridge?
that's Samuel Morosi again.
Yeah.
having a bit of a talking to from his captain, not sure positive or negative.
Bit of afters, I think, bit of frustration.
I think Ivan Gregor shaking his head knows that that's not really necessary at this stage.
Yeah, don't hurt the team like that.
Because that's really the only way that Oxford could get back in, is if there's silly penalties like that.
Yeah, and sustained power plays, agreed.
Just a little bit of afters going on in the box as well. Some friendly words.
Yeah, we apologise for the
language is picked up.
Somewhat limited vocabulary these students seem to have.
They're STEM students, what can we say?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we do apologise if any inappropriate language is being picked up by some of our more colourful characters. Both captains just getting a quick talking to, but we are pretty much hitting the limit now. 3 minutes left to go, 3.5 minutes. Captains have been talked to.
4-on-4 hockey.
4-on-4. I think, well, I wouldn't wish to call it before it's over.
No.
But it's seeming less and less likely now that Oxford are going to find a way back into this.
Yeah, but, with a 4-on-4 hockey, Cambridge's 4-on-4 hockey, Cambridge's game plan is to shut Oxford down, and that'll be infinitely more difficult when there's more room out there on a 4-on-4.
Yeah. And already Connor Daly letting loose, lets one rip high and wide. Jeff Verstegen trying to crack that offensive zone. Big Mike Farland now has a chance to shoot. Is held up by Jonathan Parker. Looking in front now from Mike Farland. Well held on the post by Matt Neville. Jeff Verstegen looking for something in the corner. I think the Oxford boys really starting to feel that frustration now. The physicality is picking up, and it's not clean. I think it's pretty fair to say.
And it's very much evident from the forecheck.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustration physicality. Martin McStoken again, just
being an absolute pest out there.
The pest, you took the words out of my mouth, in the best possible sense for Cambridge.
Absolutely.
Just causing absolute carnage. Jeff Verstegen making the run, though, going the distance, has Connor Daly in the slot. He's going to find him. No, Connor just peeled away.
Who needs a stick when you've got footwork like that?
And now Ivan Gregor coming back the other way with, his whole squad there. As now Jonathan Romich, I don't believe has had a point in this game. I might be mistaken on that.
I'd be surprised if he hasn't.
Just waiting for the pucks to come back from the refs, I think. And still winding down now. Final 2 minutes. Joe Donnan has it gloved. But Cambridge in the zone, and they're looking strong. I think what we have here, Tim, is a case of they've just got the momentum early. They've just got so far ahead.
Yeah, they built that lead, and they haven't really let go of it.
Yeah. That's it. Oxford haven't really been able to find a foothold. I wonder if if Oxford had managed to pick the first goal, how this game would have gone.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not for lack of nerve or lack of trying. It's, no. Credit to Cambridge, they've played very well defensively.
Yeah, absolutely is the case. I mean, they've almost always had two defenders back on any breakout situation,
and they've always picked up those rebounds and kept the front of the net clear.
Yeah,
Oxford have had some good looks.
Oh, not Martin Limback-Stoking, my apologies. Charles Barr going down. Tag team slightly by Craig Convey and Niels Lager. 1 minute 35 left. 5 seconds to go on these penalties. Mikey Farland, Scott Partington unleashed now. The skill guy looking to try and find something. Joe just covering that one up neatly. But now, Sean Baig and Samuel Roshi out of the box. Two of the biggest talkers, I think, on either side.
Out of the box, but continuing to talk.
Yeah. I think there's going to be I, for one, am interested to see how these guys shake up at Nationals. Given that Nationals does not have the same restrictions as Varsity, Varsity obviously being an Oxbridge-specific rule set in terms of who is eligible to play. Nationals under standard BYHA Cup competition eligibility. So the Oxford Men's Blues will have some of their affiliate members, some of their superstar Dynamite men back in action. And I think actually the loss of some of those players, you know, you think of guys like Johan Anderson, Phil Boriak, and Brock Daler, they really have been electric for the Blues this season.
Yeah, you're
Not
right
having
there.
them, I think, has hurt this team more than they perhaps thought it would.
Yeah, and this problem doesn't seem to happen to Cambridge.
No. I mean, one key difference being Cambridge does matriculate their visiting students, whereas Oxford doesn't. So you have guys caught up in exchange programs with very high levels of hockey,
Yeah.
but just are not quite eligible to play in the match.
Yeah,
due
and
to
that was evident in the
technicality.
women's Blues game as well.
Yeah, yeah, very much the case. Connor Daly looking for something. There's a bounce. Brunner holds. Net's off. Net is off. Net is extremely off. I don't know why that whistle hasn't been blown.
Yeah, refs want this
I
game
think
to wind down
they
here.
They just want it to end. Some kind of slashes going on from Jerome DeCarvier there. Connor Daly looking for anything in front, but I think, Tim, this is the dying of the light, unfortunately, for the Oxford Men's Blues hope. That's a big clear. They pulled the goalie.
Yeah, sorry guys, we missed that on the play. They do have
didn't even
the
see it.
sixth player out there.
He managed to get to the bench before we realised he'd done it.
Yep.
Scott Partington now, if Cambridge can just get a turn and throw it on net, Mike Furlan luckily able to stop that. What would be a slightly embarrassing end result. Matt Downer needs to square up, and he's pinged it off the post and in.
Unnecessarily pinged it.
I think that is very much all she wrote.
Not much more Downer could have done there. He went down to block the shot.
He went
and
down. He did everything right.
that was a perfect shot.
He picked it. I think that was Scott Partington there, just picture perfect placement. You couldn't really do better if he tries.
And certainly, you know, heads down on the Oxford side, but you know, at the end of the day, they left it all out there.
They did.
There's not much more you can do. You come to the game, you're prepared, you just got to give it your all, and as long as you do that, you know, no one can fault you.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, both sides here, I think, should be very proud of what they've achieved, both on the season and in this match. You know, the work and the effort that's gone into it, both sides.
Yeah, absolutely.
DeCovier and Baig both being told to push out of the circle, no doubt. Chirping
Scored by number 10.
all the way home, but final seconds. 2-1, and that is done. The Cambridge Men's Blues are the winners of the 105th Men's Varsity Ice Hockey match with a final score of 4-0.
And Maroshi and Bay continue to talk.
Even after the fact.
Yeah.
Well, it's not quite the performance the Dark Blues were hoping for in front of a home crowd, but I think still a very respectable effort they put out there.
Yeah, and nevertheless,
Obviously,
they do get a standing ovation from the crowd.
they do.
They'll be disappointed, no doubt.
I
But
think so, but that's only going to push them to come back stronger for Nationals.
absolutely. So, of course, the Oxford Men's Blues winning Division 1 South, they will play the winners of Division 1 North
Which
in
I
the playoff
believe
final.
is currently the St Andrews Typhoons.
And, of course, Nationals for both clubs.
Yeah,
But, you know, this is one they go after, and this is one that's going to hurt for a while.
yeah, it will. But, you know, there are guys that are sticking around, there are guys that this was their last shot. But such is the nature of the varsity match. It is a cruel and unkind mistress from time to time.
Yeah.
But Cambridge played a blinder of a game. Matt Neville, hats off. You know, he played an incredible game between the pipes for Cambridge.
Yeah.
Absolutely held them in it.
And really from that first goal for Cambridge, they managed to gain momentum early.
And accelerate.
They had two
from there
very
on out.
quick goals in the start of the second, capitalising on that forecheck.
Yeah. And here comes the handshake line. It is, you know, perhaps begrudgingly on behalf of some, but they respect each other, they respect the game, they know what it means.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me that everyone is showing that grace and decorum.
Yeah. Limbat Stoken there, shaking with his
Offhand.
left hand. Looks like potentially his right dislocated shoulder, maybe. His arm's hanging
A
there.
little bit limp, but he's still.
But no
he's still
doubt
swinging.
worth it. No doubt
Yeah.
worth it.
I think for a victory like that, and I mean, for guys like Brunner, for guys like Peltonen who have travelled, they haven't seen that. My God, I've just seen Peltonen's leg pads. Those things are ironing boards. Not a single bend in them. Sorry, that took me totally by surprise. The guys like those, your travelling goalies, you know, if you have guys on the bench that you're not really playing that much, they're still a part of that team. They're still a part of that win. and that's going to mean, you know, a great deal to them.
Yeah. And of course, before the presentation of the King Edward VII Trophy, we would like to thank you all for tuning in.
Absolutely. It's been an absolute pleasure and a privilege to be able to provide this commentary, this live stream. We really hope that you've been able to join us from wherever in the world you may be, friends and fans of Oxbridge hockey. I've been Alex Carmichael, Tim Donison with me. Any closing thoughts, Tim, before we head to the trophy presentations?
Well, a good first day of hockey.
Very strong opening. So, currently tied 1-1 with the women taking the win and the men taking, Oxford taking the win in the women's contest and Cambridge taking the win in the men's contest. We will, of course, return tomorrow for the competitions between the Vikings B and the Cambridge Huskies, and the much anticipated Vikings A versus the Cambridge Narwhals, which always proves to be a good show.
Absolutely.
In the meantime, we're going to head out for the trophy presentations, but thank you all again for tuning in. We very much appreciate your support from wherever in the world you are, and we hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, boys.
We now hand it over to the respective team captains to announce the MVPs for the game.
Can I suck your blood your dad's dick to get a taste of what you made? I don't even get that. It's kind of like...
No, but it just rolls off the tongue. It sounds great.
Bro, get a couple more lungs, I swear. Calling the goalie the man of the match. Well, you put the script, so...
Oh, that one.
Playing for Oxford is number 26, Joe Dolan. And player of the game for Cambridge is number 31, Matthew Neville. Now, the OUHC and CUHC are thrilled to welcome back to the UK the Patton Cup, which is the original Varsity Match trophy from the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto, Canada. In honour of the occasion, the OUHC and CUHC have agreed to co-present the Patton Cup as an honorary trophy alongside the King Edward VII Match Trophy to this year's winners. The Men's Blues Varsity Match Trophy, the King Edward VII Cup, is named after His Royal Highness King Edward VII, who was an alumnus of both Oxford and Cambridge. During his time as the Prince of Wales, he was an early pioneer of ice hockey in the UK during the 19th century, and captained a team of his personal household and Oxford and Cambridge students against a select team of Lords and MPs, including Lord Stanley, who is the namesake of the famed Stanley Cup. The King Edward VII Cup is engraved with the name of the winning team of each year's match, dating back to the inaugural match in 1889. So, if I could ask the Cambridge captain, Ian Gregor, to please come and collect the trophy from Lord Willoughby de Brett.
Daniel Harris, CIOC, Quinton Cox, and the University Sport Directors will be super influential in getting this piece of our history. So thank you to everyone who's been involved. And now for the presentation of the King Over the Sun.
What's this for? That's for winning the game. That's the retirement. Okay. So we're retiring the pattern. Oh, this is the new one. This is the sorry.
Yep. Here's the MVP plate for the game. It's over there. The MVP plate for the game's over there as well.
Throw it over.
I'll bring it over.
Yeah.
We also have previous captain Andrew Stevenson, who is coming on the ice to present the Game MVP Award to the most valuable player of the Varsity match. Presenting number 27. Jonathan J.R. Lynch.
If the teams can gather in the center of the ice for a picture, our clip photographer will do that.
Can we go now?
You want to get in the photo?
No.
How you guys repping?
While our pictures being taken,
I'm in Cambridge.
I'd like to say
Oxford. I know, I'm in Cardiff.
including our club president, Alex Carmichael, and all the committee around him, without whom none of this would have been possible.
All right, buddy. It's not goodbye. See you later.
I can also get a round of applause for both teams for coming down today. It was a fantastic match, well played.
Am I just leave the camera like this?
We wish the Cambridge team a very safe journey back home, and for those of you that would like, we are hosting an after party at first, for which all welcome. Thank you all for coming. Have a good night.
Are you going to that? Exactly. Are you going to that? Sorry. Hey, AJ.
And for those of you that are still watching, tomorrow we have two games. The Oxford Vikings B will be playing the Eskimos at 5:30. The Huskies at 5:30, and at 8:30, the Vikings A will be playing the Knolls. So make sure to buy your tickets for that and come down to the room.